of men. What are some of the signs of women
Like
peacock?
imagine everybody just spreading relatable my real dad.
It's gonna be my ears. You know what I'm saying? Physical ears. Like, man, I'm
Peace, everyone. Welcome back to the Full Notice Podcast. Today we have a full house, kinda. We're missing some like two people, but that's fine. Today we're going to kind of debate a little bit, try to get into the debate spirit. St. Valentine's is tomorrow, which is a very interesting time. There's a lot of hurt people right now. It's the 13th, so dudes is struggling so hard. I was I was kind of talking about that on Instagram on my page. It was funny. I got a lot of hateful reactions from women. So I'm kind of gonna talk a little bit about that. I got my boy Scott here with me. Amanda's back, so this is gonna be like incredible. I'm so happy that she's here. She got the little one is still in the belly cooking up, so that's gonna be fun. And so I want to just introduce our guests. You guys can introduce yourselves. I just want to know a little bit about who you guys are, what you guys do, and so go ahead.
My name is Karina. I'm from Brooklyn. I live in Jersey now. I'm full-time model now. I don't know what else. I'm Italian, Puerto Rican. But yeah.
Are you a good cook?
I could cook, yeah.
Well, there's a kitchen over there. Italian food's my favorite food. We order pizza.
Okay, good.
I'm Karina too.
So crazy.
We both have the same name, which is awesome. I'm a singer, dancer, model, and actress. I'm a full-time artist and model as well. That's actually how we met each other. I'm originally from South Jersey, down by the Atlantic City area, but I live up in North Jersey now. Moved up here about 3 years ago because I started my modeling career being a full-time freelance model. I was getting booked a lot, and it just made sense to move up here. Yeah, close to the city and everything. Like I said, I sing as well. I just dropped a single January 1st. It's called One of One. Make sure you check it out. Everybody is one of one in this room, and yeah.
That's what's up. So what kind of music is it like?
Pop and R&B.
Pop and R&B.
Yeah.
You want to sing a little bit?
Sure.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna sing my new song.
Go for it.
Clear your mind, baby. Take some time, baby. We're on a ride, it'll be fine. Keep on shining, baby. Ay. No matter what you do, we gon' get it poppin', yeah, yeah. I got a different view. All I see is one of one.
Yo, I actually wasn't expecting that, so that was pretty good. Really good.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yerk makes music. He's actually the
Okay.
GOAT. So you guys should probably connect. Like he really is
What
legit.
kind of music you make? I make R&B. Okay. I like that.
He's a producer. He knows. Like I seen him work, so it's crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
We'll tap in.
Yeah. What up, Scott?
Hey, what's up, man?
Welcome back, man. The 200K
Yo,
view
the
man.
200K view man.
Yo, man.
Yeah, that's wild, huh?
It is, dude.
Yeah.
That was congratulations on that, brother.
Thank you, man.
So yeah, man. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so, me and Rob been friends for like the past, 18, 20 years. Me and myself, I study naturopathy. I'm all into healing, natural healing, all that stuff. I also sell like vintage memorabilia from pop culture and everything.
Can I ask you something?
No questions from you.
Well,
of course
you
can.
said you're like into natural healing, and I
Yeah.
peeped these water bottles next to you. What is that?
Oh, yeah, so
Good question, right?
in these, it's, well, there's actually 3 of these.
Okay.
So it's banana. I got like 25 dates in there.
Okay.
A huge like palm size of peanut butter. Alfalfa leaf powder,
Okay.
which that's like really, really good for like muscle building. So I put that in there. It's good for your skin too. And I have frozen blueberries and strawberries. And you blend it all together with the right amount of water,
Sounds good.
and it's life.
Just looks a little funny.
It doesn't taste funny though.
No, it's actually really, really good. And you know what's messed up? This is the shit about Scott that is like crazy to me. He knows how much I enjoy those smoothies, and he never brings me a bottle. Like,
You know, I gotta
God
keep
damn it,
I gotta
man.
keep the scarcity on them because if I'm always giving them out, it's gonna wear off.
Yeah,
know?
I respect
It's
that.
like a delicacy.
Yo, when he like has an extra bottle, he like just gives it to me, like makes my day. Cause it's like, you know how long I've known this guy, and I'm like, yo, Scott, if you're gonna bring that, yo, just hook me up, man. He never does, but sometimes like randomly he'll just like have one. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah, these are mostly for like weight gain, but to do it in like a healthy way where I'm not gonna like insulin overload from trying to like break down like pasta or rice or anything. Because this is all like fructose sugar, and your body doesn't use insulin to break that down. It goes right into your cells through diffusion, so it's really good for your like digestion.
Okay.
I'll be interested in having that conversation.
Definitely.
All right, superstar, what's up?
Hey.
How you doing?
Good.
Been a while since
waiting.
you've been back, huh?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has, and you've grown.
I've grown, I know.
How excited
4
are
more
you?
weeks left.
And are you ready?
I'm so nervous. I'm nervous for the birth part. I'm not nervous to be a mom. I know
Yeah,
that's gonna come naturally.
Oh no,
but-
the pushing part.
Yeah. That's what I think about every day.
Man, that is, man. Man, I don't know.
I know. I don't even know. So
I
I,
mean-
don't even know what to say.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Amanda. What do I do? I guess I'm a pending mom.
That's the best thing. That's the best job in the world.
Best thing you can do.
Yeah.
I also have a beauty company which I've been running for the past 10 years. So I have clients that I still see, but now I'm kind of like trying to lay back from work and just focus on Charlotte.
Mommy
when
duties.
she's born. Yeah.
This is gonna be fun.
Also ex nightlife dancer, model, you name it.
yeah.
Not doing that anymore, but
ex model. Yeah, you were modeling.
yeah, I did that for a while.
So how old are you guys, by the way?
I'm 24.
I'm 26.
Okay. I thought it was like 22. You know, you guys look young.
Thank you.
But yeah, so today, right? Like, usually, so the podcast is kind of like a Joe Rogan style podcast where I usually just have guests that have something that they're doing that are, you know, like interesting artists. I had we had some guy recently. He was he's the owner of an NGO, and he also, which is a non-governmental organization for those that don't know, and he also had he worked for like Lockheed Martin, which is a military defense contracting company. And I had a really interesting conversation with him. And in that conversation, like when we got off camera, this is a successful guy. I had mentioned to him about relationships, right? And it's always interesting to hear how successful men, you know, how they view relationships. It's like they have a lot of experience. And he gave me the look like, that look like, oh my God, relationships, you know? So I wanted to kind of like, I just thought about that. Like, it's weird. You know, this guy has money. He's like handsome dude, successful, doing things, making moves. And why is he looking at relationships like, man, like women, you know what I mean? And then I speak to my boys, all my friends, all the guys that I know, and they're always like complaining about relationships and women and things like that. So like Valentine's is tomorrow. So it's going to be a lot of hurt men, a lot of lonely men, a lot of happy girls, a lot of lonely women. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people are going to find out where they stand in their relationship tomorrow. So I just wanted to start with you. I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on modern dating, relationships, and you know, go ahead, speak your truth.
Modern relationships, I think it all depends, like, obviously what everyone does for a living, like what they do, what kind of people they like. Obviously, like, if you are in the same field as somebody, you're going to get, you know, put together well. I'm kind of like going through that right now where like I'm in the industry, but the person like that I was talking to wasn't really in the industry. So I don't know. You kind of need to like balance it in a way. They're not going to be okay with certain things that you do, and you just either need to respect it or you don't need to respect it
So,
and move on.
Let me ask this question: for you, in your relation, are you in a relationship?
Yes.
Okay. So in your relationship, how does your man feel about what you do?
I mean, like, you just need to, like, there's certain
Spill
things
it.
that he's okay with, certain things he's not okay with. So I'm very, like, open with him about what I do. So, like, I don't do anything behind his back. So,
Well, that's not my question.
what?
My
What's your
question is, how does he feel about what you do?
Well, we've been together for, like, a few years now. So, it's like, he's okay with it. Obviously, if he wasn't, he wouldn't be with me. So, and I feel like it has to do with trust at the same time. So,
Scott, let me ask you this question. Because you're like, we talk about this all the time, right?
All the time.
So let me ask, do you think that it could be that he's not okay with it at all, but he's just going with the motions because he may love her, he likes her, he's attracted to her? Do you think he has any say in the relationship?
Well, you mean like compromising?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you think he would compromise that?
I mean, what kind of modeling do you do?
The sexy kind?
I do music videos, you know.
She's around high value men.
Okay, well,
high status, maybe not high value.
Well, I
but-
mean, well, that right there, because women, it's called hypergamy, where once a woman finds a more valuable guy, she's always going to want to go with that guy because he's the best option. He's the best option for her genes to survive, you know? So any man that knows that other successful, attractive men are going to be around his girl is not going to be comfortable with it.
Of
Does-
course.
Do you guys ever argue about that?
Well, we're not gonna get that personal, but like, no, like,
Cap. But go ahead, that's
like,
fine.
we don't. There's no argue. Like, what is there to argue about? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't keep anything from him, so yeah. I don't know. How do you feel about it?
It's hard to say because you guys both have the same name, so it's like I got a point. You know what I mean? I'm like pointing on
You could call us K and C. You
K
know?
and C. Okay.
Yeah. Are you asking me the question now?
Yeah.
Just how do I feel on like modern day relationships and everything? I think nowadays it is so hard to gauge people in general. I am a woman, so we're gonna speak about men. It's hard to gauge men and like their true intentions, what it is that they want. But also, I think what's most important and what I've like, been experiencing is like what it comes down to is like we're there on both sides, but dealing with a man where he's at in his life. And I feel like that's what makes him ready for a relationship or not. Along with a lot of other reasons, but I feel like that's mostly the excuse or the reason that like I would get. To be personal, I'm actually in a relationship now. It's pretty new. Been with the person, with my man for like 3 months. But
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow, actually, because I haven't celebrated Valentine's in like 4 years, okay? I was single for a long time. So it feels nice to like, be grateful. And honestly, like I feel blessed that I found someone that I really feel like, I get along with, that he makes me better. We grow together. I learn a lot from him as well. It is still new. So yes, it's still like that honeymoon phase, but with being single for so long and also the industry that I'm into, meeting so many different people, so many different men, it's not easy, but I feel like you can tell a good person from not a good person. Like people are able to like cover themselves with masks and, make them seem like they're something else when they're not. But just like speaking on in general, I think what it comes down to is just intentions and like, the pureness of like what you want and getting to know someone and like getting into a relationship. Things can be tricky, things can be sticky, but at the end of the day, it's just like, I think honesty and communication is the key to literally everything. And I think people don't even know how to like do that anymore. Right. So I would say that's the issue, honestly.
Not communication and honesty.
Yes.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts
on modern dating in general?
Yeah.
Whew, I have a lot of thoughts. I feel like, the dating pool is just, and mainly women, kind of sucks for men, and it took me a while to reach this understanding because I feel like when I was younger, I'm 31, throughout my 20s, I felt like I had a more liberal point of view of things where I was just like, I'm going to dress how I want. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to surround myself with whoever I want. And I'm going to work in whatever job I want to do. I'm going to get my money my way without regard to what my partner would say. And, you know, I would always end up in like crappy relationships. I would end up, or what I would see as crappy relationships. And it's because I was acting kind of crappy. You know, like I was on OnlyFans. I was naked modeling on Instagram. I was, you know, surrounding myself around men right in front of my partner. And not to say that I was doing anything with these men, but like, why would I be hanging out with, if I'm in a relationship, why would I be hanging out or putting myself around these other guys? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is true for the majority of women these days. And I've seen it kind of grow tremendously where like women are just like, well, men ain't shit. And, you know, we don't need them. And I'm going to just do whatever I want. And you just have to be okay with it. And you just have to trust. But like, truth be told, like, it's not even about trust. It's just like no man really wants a woman that's going to be portraying herself in a certain way out there. At least not in a serious note. I feel like maybe in a more, you know, for fun for now. But when it comes down to who am I taking home to mom? Who am I giving a ring to? Who am I going to have babies with? It's not going to be the OnlyFans model.
Yeah. That's
you know,
true.
it's just not. It's just, that's not what it is. So.
That's true. What do you guys think about that? So,
I definitely understand that perspective.
do you agree with it, or?
I agree, but kind of to a certain extent in a way. Like, definitely, you know, agree on, like, how women these days are like, men ain't shit, we don't need them, like, whatever. And then being stuck in a certain way where you feel like the man has to love you for whatever it is, like, that you do and has to accept it. I actually went through a very similar situation where I was doing something that my man wasn't like very happy with, and he was like, listen, like, get your money at the end of the day, but understand that that decreases your value in a way, you know? And I was very stubborn at first because I'm like,
how old were you during this time?
oh, this was a few months ago.
This is
recent.
okay.
So I was working at the club. I'm gonna just put it out there. I was working at the club. Yes, to make extra money, you know what I mean? I was doing it before him. So, like, in my head, I was like, you know, this is
For them dollars?
For them dollars.
dollars.
Yeah,
Okay,
for them not for nothing else. Anyways, just to sum it up, you know, like, I was stuck in that mindset. Not that it was like, oh, I'm going to do this. This is my career or anything like that. But it was something I was doing to make my money. And, like, at the time, it's not like he was, like, putting money in my pockets or whatever. So I was stuck, like, in this mindset. Like, how are you going to tell me what I can do? But then he's like, if you want me to really take you seriously and, like, you know, if you want this relationship to be your last one, like, you have to understand my perspective on it as well. Like, it decreases your value as, like, my woman in a way. You're still a great woman. This doesn't make you any less of a woman. But, like, long term and thinking of, like, possibly a ring or starting a family one day, it's like, yeah, he probably doesn't want a woman that's, like, going to the club to go get dollars, you know?
In your experience, was when... Then this is maybe, I don't know if you worked in the nightlife, I don't know, but this is a question that I have, like, do you guys ever think of your man, right? Like, you're there, you got your butt out, and dudes are like, you know, touching and throwing and putting dollars on you and smacking your butt and all that. Like, do you ever think about, like, what if your man walked in, would he be like, or do you even think about him at all, like, during these interactions and you working? Like, is there any thought there about your man?
Yeah, of course there is. But also, this is for me personally, I feel like anytime I stepped in that club, there was a switch that went off, like, in my head, and, like, I was just there to work. I know it might, like, sound silly, it might not sound, like, realistic in a way, but even before him, like, I don't know, I stepped through those doors and I was like, not me, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, you got to numb a part of your soul in order to be there.
Exactly.
I'm sure.
And at the end of the day, just to add this real quick, you know, and speaking on my personal, like, situation with what I just said and having a man and him not necessarily being okay with that, is like, I'm not even, because I have to numb myself, and that's not something that I truly, like, want to really be doing. It was just something to, like, hustle, you know what I mean? So it's like, he was trying to make me realize that, like, how I can be better within myself as well. So, appreciate
Yeah,
that,
shout out to him
you know?
for that. How many men at the club try to get you out of the club?
Oh, tons.
Not sexually. I mean, like, dudes will, you're giving a man a lap dance, and he's
Right.
in your ear telling you, you don't got to do this. I could help you out. How many times do men? And this is the thing. This is why personally, this might be controversial, but I really believe that like the heart of men is, I think women are extremely nurturing. They're great at that, but I think our heart, we really want to love. And there's a saying that says that men love that women, what is it? Women love idealistically and men love realistically. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that, but when I heard of that, like when I heard that quote, it made sense to me. It's like, yeah, I could see, because I'm like, if I'm gonna love you, I'm gonna love you. But if a woman tells me she loves me, I kind of have to like, for how long? What if I don't pay the bill? You know what I'm saying? There's so many other things that just come along with that love. It's always conditional. So, I mean, do you guys have anything to say about
Well,
that?
I mean,
Like,
in,
what are
re-
your
in
thoughts?
regards to women saying that they love you, I know they mean it right in the moment, but they only mean it right in the moment. It has no future tense to it, because women's emotions they change like the wind blows, you know? So when they say that, you're like, okay, I appreciate that now, but in the future, anything could change. And I know a lot of dudes think the same way too, you know?
It's so funny, man, because like, just having this conversation. This Scott's my best friend, man. So we have like conversations like this all the time, and it's just one of those things where I could literally talk about women in relationships and like love and like conspiracy theories. Like this is the stuff that we talk about all the time,
All the time.
and it never gets old because it's like I want to know everyone's perspective on this stuff, because it's like always, it's always something new, something different. I always hear some new delusional shit. Like it's a new level of delusion every time that I hear this stuff. So it's like I'm really trying to get into like a debate. I want like, what is the craziest shit that we could debate about? Because I'm trying to get there. That's literally
Well,
what.
we can start with how men like to think with their littler head instead of their big one.
Oof.
Hmm.
Okay. What
That
you guys?
could
go ahead.
probably lead you in a place where you're finding yourself in relations with women who aren't great for you. I mean, it's not, if you're looking for honesty, marriage, all of that, like the serious things, the reason why we're even, having sex and doing all this stuff, like, why would you be wifing or cuffing the people that you meet on the internet, or the girls you meet at the club, or the fun girls? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're saying I love you and you're doing all these sacred things with this girl, these type of girls, and then you wonder, well, she says she loves me, but it's not really real. Like, well, because you thought with your dick together.
Well, yeah. You know what it is, and I could. I mean, I'm gonna chime in on this. Like, I think that men look at women kind of like that's mine, like kind of a possession.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to the club and you see a girl you like, you know she's at the club, but in your mind you want to save her. You want to get her out of the club because she's a beautiful woman. So it's just like, if I can just make that girl mine and get her out of here, that's mine.
Thinking with your dick.
Well, not at the moment. At the moment, oh yeah, well yeah, because you want to hit. So
Yeah,
that's
immediate.
really
You're
yeah.
attracted to the girl.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
thinking with your dick.
Yeah, because you know what it is? It's like when a man sees a beautiful woman, every bit of his DNA is screaming, you have to reproduce with her.
Yeah.
And that's biologically ingrained. Like, because if we go back to like caveman times where you didn't have monogamy, the alpha man was just impregnating as many women as he could, whereas the woman would want to hold on to the man because then, if she like had mated with somebody else, he's either going to be raising somebody else's child, or she's always going to have the provisioning. So it's pretty much, it's the man's program versus the woman's program all the time. And in regards to like thinking with your head, that's just a biological thing, but it doesn't mean love. We could have a woman that we love and that's our girl, but yet we still want to like have sex with other women. Like women, because you guys will like love a man, and I've noticed women tend to think like the way that they look at things at men is the same way that men view things with women, but that's not how it is.
Right.
Women, you can only love like one man, whereas a man can love multiple women.
Hold on, I wanna touch on it. Do you believe that you can only love one man?
Forever?
Yeah. What
I think
about
that can change.
what about you guys? Do you guys think you guys could love one man for the rest of your life?
I know I can love one man for the rest of my life. Yes.
How about you?
I agree.
You can love one man for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the reality. This is men, and I speak on behalf of all men. This is declaration.
You're the ambassador of men.
I'm the ambassador of men today. Men don't think like that. Men can love you right now and forever until he will die for you, but he will still want to have sex with another woman. Whereas women, that wanting to have sex part, I don't know if you guys have that. Like men have it.
No. If I'm having sex with one person, that's like it.
Yeah, you're good there. Men is just like, I'm gonna hit this right now, and if I could get some buns later on, like, cool. You know what I mean? So there's just that little bit of I guess it's that difference in our biology that makes men just, women want to shame men for this, but I mean it just makes men more lustful, I guess, if you want to say that, men are lusty. But it is a reality.
I think it's only shameful when this isn't an understanding between you and whoever you're dealing with. So like I feel like that's when it becomes like adultery at that point.
Yeah, I agree with that because
being honest, men should be honest.
I think
if you're
it's the
open up front
dishonesty
from the beginning, like, listen, you'll be my main whatever, and this is what I'm gonna also do, and I'm expecting it, and I agree to it.
But here, all right, watch this. Would you guys accept your man right now, where he's at in life or whatever, if he said that you're gonna be my main, but I'm gonna have other women on the side? Would you accept it, Kay?
No.
But do you love him?
Yes.
How long have you guys been together for?
3 years.
Okay, so I mean, that's a long time, and you love him.
Uh-huh.
But if he told you that, you wouldn't be with him?
No.
So then how's it? Okay, all right. So this is what I'm saying, though. This is always loving under the condition of. It's like.
But then that's how we end up with the relationships where he's going to do it anyway, and you're probably going to stay anyway, because it just is what it. You're not going to leave your man that you love so much, that you've been and put in so much time with.
Yes, I will. But
Yeah, see, she'll do it, but this is it. It's like I want men really like this is really I want men to have that same level of delusion to and really I want you to get treated how the love you give your man, like he should give you that exact same love, right? So that you're a beautiful woman, you're hot, attractive, right? Are you gonna be hot when you're 40 years old? Same body, same? No, most likely you're gonna change, right? So if
I'd like to think I'm gonna look hot at 40.
Right.
yeah, I mean, I hope so. I
And
hope
then
every woman.
What
looks,
does that mean? That he's gonna try to have sex with like a 20-year-old because she looks better and younger?
100%.
That is weird, kind of.
you should
No,
see
it's
the
not.
signs. Like, you should see the signs.
But this is the thing: men are gonna do that. Men are 100%.
all
And we're not gonna
men.
be
Yes,
with
all
those
men are
men.
gonna do that.
Not all men.
Yeah, yo, this is what I'm saying. This is where the delusional part comes in. All men piss standing up, right? Yes, there are some paraplegics out there who, they sit down when they pee. But all men stand up when they pee. All men at some point. You're not going to be with your man for 20 years. You know how many? That's 20 years? 20 years and he's only going to have those same two labias is the only thing he's going to see. Come on. Be realistic.
I think
it's not
it will
going to happen.
take discipline, like the man. It will take discipline from the man. I don't think it's impossible. I think it's for the majority of men.
Mm-hmm.
That's true what you're saying, but there will be like some exceptions where.
Why are those exceptions good? Like, what is the discipline?
Why are they good?
Yeah, okay. Being disciplined, like me waking up, going for a run, that's a positive discipline.
Right.
Me suppressing myself from eating fruits and vegetables, why am I doing that? Because I'm disciplined. I want to just eat whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
It's like,
if you know your partner is not okay with you going and chasing other women, and that's going to take a discipline. I'm not saying now you're abnormal for wanting the desire. There are crazy women out there that are like, how dare you look at another girl? Like, I can't believe you. Like, that's terrible.
Shout
it's
out
so
my
out of worldly.
Colombians.
Yeah, like it's. I know that you're gonna look and you're gonna be curious, like as a man, but at the same time, like the discipline of you not of denying new vagina is what would attract me and what would keep me around.
Yeah, but let me ask you this: do you have more respect for a
it's
man?
not because he's handsome. Look at this guy. He's freaking gorgeous.
But it's like this: if you can just control his balls whenever, are you gonna have the same level of respect for that same man?
I don't think it's control his balls. I think it's
Yeah,
just
it's dick policing.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
No,
I don't think so.
absolutely
I
not.
think it's. I definitely think it's him having the discipline, just like I'm having the discipline to act in.
Yeah, but it's
ways.
different for you because for you the prize isn't a new man. For a man, the prize it's there. What's the saying? There's nothing better than new pussy.
Okay.
I never heard a woman say there's nothing better than new dick. Like women don't say that.
Well, then,
Why is it even a saying that men say that? It's because it's real.
Well, then you should also consider like where, like, I mean, and I'm not religious. Me and my partner are not religious, but we do believe in God, and I would say to some degree we are God-fearing people.
Yeah.
So in that regard, like, I feel like that's what would hold us both kind of like accountable to, like, okay, he can go and sleep with another girl and it's not going to be looked at as crazy as me going to sleep with another guy, or I can go and work the club a couple nights if I need money or whatever the case may be, but like I believing in what I believe in and just believing that I have this higher power watching over me, like, and kind of holding me accountable for my actions. Why do that? And I feel like it's the same for him as well.
Well, you know something wild though?
What?
All high-achieving men and powerful men on the planet
Mm-hmm.
have multiple women, and the women are cool with that because they know the situation that they got, and they know that they're the lucky ones to be with that man.
Right.
Whereas I think like most other women, yeah, they got a guy. He's kind of cool. It's a comfortable situation, but he's not at that level where it's going to be triggering your DNA to be like, holy shit, this is like the man.
Are we
like,
just talking about guys that like have a ton of money?
Imagine trying
not,
to tell
not just money.
Andrew
I'm talking
Tate.
about like a mover and a shaker,
Mm-hmm.
like a man that's literally like creating like new civilization, like new type shit, like kings, like
Power,
modern day
yeah.
like kings,
Very powerful.
and men that have that, and it's not just like a possession type thing. That power is very, very attractive, and a lot of these men are also very, very charismatic. They're people that you want to be around, that you feel safe around, you know? So women are always willing to say, okay, well, there's not a lot of men like him, so I'm willing to share him.
I do think though there are also like different love languages and different attachment styles, and that's true for both men and women. So like certain women will like that, and they're fine with that. Like they'll go be with a man, their needs are paid for, they have the black card, they're cool. Like they do whatever you want. I'll turn a blind eye. I don't know what you're doing. Then there's some women that just money doesn't do it for him. I'm one of those women. Like it just money doesn't do it for me. Like I need a partner. I need a teammate. Like that's just for me. Like what makes me happiest.
You're also the exception because
I'm an exception.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are because you're also like you've been in the industry. You've been with the top like level guys. So for you, money you're not, and you're good too. So money's not gonna drive you.
Yeah.
Whereas a girl who's like looking for a way out or looking to stun on everybody else.
Well, if you're looking to be someone's like one and only, like their queen and your majesty, whatever, like then yeah, that I can see how you would want. Sorry, I don't even know what I was. Go ahead. I don't know where I was going with that. I lost my train of thought.
Here's a question for you guys, right? Here comes Chris Brown, gorgeous fellow. I'm sure you guys have heard of him. He comes in here and he says to you guys like either or whatever. He's like, "You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. I'm done talking to other girls. Like oh my God, you're so gorgeous. I love you." And he's like, "Yo, give me your account number. Here's $100,000." He really does this. This is real. This is what he do. $100,000 in your account right away. Boom, bam. I mean, he just met you. Are you going to stay with your man? No disrespect to your man. This is like logical thinking. Are you going to stay with your man, or are you going to go with the guy who can potentially change your whole life, your family's life? Like, this is Chris Brown we're talking about.
Go ahead, Karina.
Okay.
Honestly, like, I'm around rappers on the daily, so, like, I'm not saying that was ever offered to me, but, like...
We're talking about Chris Brown specifically.
Chris Brown?
Yeah,
Bro. Like, whatever.
Okay, Drake, whatever. Just enter rapper name, artist name, whoever, your artist crush.
I know that that's not gonna last. I know what I want. Like, to bounce off what she said, like, it's all about what the girl is okay with. I'm not okay with, men, my partner being with other women. Like, the money doesn't move me. Like, that's just what it is for me.
Okay. How about you?
And I think, just speaking on, I think the main factor in that
Well, one, it comes down to the type of woman that he's saying, I'm going to give you $100,000.
No, it's to you. This is me personally, like.
Okay, well, my
Internalized-
answer is no.
So
Because,
Chris
like,
Brown
I
comes
don't
in
need
here.
my life changed by Chris Brown. I'm fully capable of changing, like, my own life. You know what I mean? And making certain decisions for myself. And, like, out of the blue, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, because I love Justin Bieber. So if he came in here, that'd be a little different. But,
Okay, Justin Bieber. I just said Chris Brown, but Justin Bieber,
But
whoever.
yeah, even
And he's talking to you, and this is not no like tricking you out. Like
Right.
he's like flirting with you. You guys are vibing. Like, hey, it's Justin Bieber,
Bieber.
whatever, Justin Bieber. So you guys are there, talking and
Yeah.
communicating, and it's all good. And then he's like, "Listen, I really like. Here's my number. I really liked you. Blah blah blah. Like, are you gonna give him your number?" It's Justin Bieber. This ain't. So
But
this is the thing.
a different. Now you're asking two different questions.
But this is the thing. No, it's all. I'm trying to ease it so that it doesn't sound like he's just buying you out.
Right.
I'm trying to make it more palatable for what I'm saying. What I'm essentially saying is, here comes. I'm gonna ask you, Scott. I don't give a damn. Beyonce's married. She divorced Jay-Z. Now all of a sudden she comes in here and she's like, "Oh my God, you're the most handsome white man," and she's like, "Here's $1 million, right? Here's my number. We're gonna just hang out and we're gonna get to know each other. And you guys," she's like, "Don't worry about it. I'm gonna pay for your dates and all that stuff." Are you gonna say no to Beyonce, or are you gonna go on some dates with Beyonce?
Man, I'm gonna have self-respect and say no, no, man. Man, of course, I'm gonna hang out with Beyonce.
It's like the logical thing to do. She could change your life.
Why did she say something?
I don't know, but I don't know, man. But honestly, like logically, because I've seen it with my own eyes. Like I know personally. I know rappers personally that are one of the top dudes, and I've seen him like take girls that are literally right next to their man. Like you could say that.
But then what happens?
Well, the way that they would do it is because they have multiple girls, so most likely he's gonna get you a house, right? And meanwhile, this is not like some transactional stuff. Like you guys are actually bonding. You're actually liking this dude. He's being authentic with you. He just wants to have a lot of girlfriends.
Yeah.
And he's gonna say like, okay, maybe I only have time for Karina on Tuesdays, but that we're gonna spend all day together, And Tuesday, that is you and Justin Bieber or you and Chris Brown. That's your day together. And then he's with his other girls doing whatever.
But you don't know that because he's flying out. He's going to the next music video, the next whatever.
Yeah, I don't think
You know what I'm
he's
saying?
generally gonna say like, "Oh, by the way, I'm gonna go hang out with Tiffany
Right,
this week."
right.
Like,
That's not what I'm looking for, even if it was Justin Bieber. Like, to be honest. Like, yes, the money, like, might seem cool or, like, I would want to grasp onto that opportunity in the moment. But I think, like, when I go home and lay my head down in bed, like, I know what I want in a relationship. I know what I want in a man. And it's not someone that just has something to offer me one day a week. It's not. It's not.
Even
what
if
I'm
it's
looking
Justin
for.
Bieber.
Even if it's Justin
So
Bieber.
you want Justin Bieber and his busy schedule and his busy life to dedicate every day to you?
No, it's not about dedicating every day to me, but it's about dedicating your heart and like certain morals and values and understanding that like half of that is me as well.
So you would want Justin Bieber to be faithful
Well, you
to
know what? I'll say this, though. The question's really not hitting because it's a logical question. But once Justin Bieber starts coming here and you start getting feelings with the way he's talking to you, the way he's looking at you, the way he's conducting
It's a
himself
wrap.
around you.
It's a wrap.
Once those feelings take over, your thoughts are going to change because right now it's only a logical conversation. So it's only activating the logical parts of your mind. But once those emotions and those chemicals start flowing, your mind is going to change immediately.
Okay.
maybe a
We're
better
solid,
question.
so.
Maybe a better question is to take Justin Bieber out of the equation. Or
Yeah,
just
and
anyone out of the equation,
exactly,
and maybe
yes.
ask like, what are the values that you look for in a man? Like, what would make you happy? It doesn't necessarily need to be a famous guy with
Right,
money,
yeah.
but what's important to you?
What's important to me is someone that does have morals and values and holds themselves and the people closest to them at, a high standard to make sure that they're there for them, that he shows up for them. Someone that's like family oriented for sure. Someone who, continues to push and strive to be better every single day. Someone who respects and appreciates honesty and communication.
Who's a man like that? Like that you can, like, someone that we can all identify.
I wish I had an answer right off the top of my head. But I think my
So
answer, I
hold
think my
on.
answer would be like, and this is me having faith in all men. I hope that one day y'all all reach like
Hold
that
on, wait.
point,
That's-
and every day you grow
that's-
more,
that
and
sounds-
learn more.
It sounds good, but hold on.
Mhm.
This guy that all these things that you just said, can you name one guy right now that has that we can all identify and say like, okay, yeah, Jim Carrey, he's like that.
I don't know, not off the top of my head, no.
That's because they don't exist.
And why is that?
Because all men have testosterone, and that makes men extremely horny. More like, you don't understand. You're a woman, like literally. No, this is no disrespect. Like, yeah, I really don't understand. And that chemical makes us want to have sex, and couple that with women wearing tight clothes, revealing clothes. It's like you're constantly being. Imagine you're starving. You haven't had food in 2 days. And here comes like this beautiful dish, like your favorite meal, just passing by, and you're just like, at some point you're gonna try to grab at it, so you can get a chicken wing or whatever you like, whatever. That's like the reality of men. Where we go outside, you can be in completely like you are in your spiritual mode. You're thinking about God. You just finished praying. You walk outside, all of a sudden here comes this beautiful woman with her butt. Showing her butt, her whole butt is showing. Why should
With
I
her
show?
butt. That's all. Her butt.
It's like but yeah, it's the reality that we deal.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
So yes, this is true, and I don't disagree. Like when it comes to men, yes, you guys base a lot of decision making like on testosterone and just the difference between like men and women when it comes to that per se. But okay, you get done praying, you go outside, you see this beautiful woman and she has a nice butt or whatever. And she says, okay, like, let's go back upstairs to your place. And you get what you want. What do you feel like you accomplished? Like, actually, though. Actually, what value do you take from that? If every woman you see, you're able to get.
There's no emotional connection. All right, so I'm going to give you exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
And this is how men feel. When you go to the bathroom and you feel that release, like, ugh, feel good now. That is exactly what happens when that big booty, beautiful woman tells me, let's go upstairs and let's do the do real quick. I don't even have to know her name. Oh, okay, let's go. Whoop. I'll go upstairs, do the duke. And
do the duke.
Do the duke. And that's it. After that, it's like, there's no real,
Right.
There's no connection. Like, I'm not connected. What's there? Right. I don't even know your name.
That's like something that you want to like do throughout life, just because you get to.
That's something that men do.
It might just be happening whether we know it or not. I think that's what you're trying to
say,
right?
This is what happens. Yeah. This is what men are doing now. Like you go out with your guy, like, and in your mind, he's making love to you or whatever. In his mind, he's trying to get that nut out so he could go and. It's not like you guys have sex and he's laying in bed there with you for hours trying to talk about stars and flowers and how your emotions, how was your day? No, it's like, and then I'm going to go watch the football game. I'm going to go do something like I'm going to,
You know what I want to add to that too is, I mean, women say that they like a guy like that like loves and this and that. But you guys, consciously you say that, but you don't. You like a guy that can get multiple women because it's very attractive. If a guy starts talking about how he...
That is a toxic woman that likes that. For real.
No, hear me out, right? Because consciously, if a dude is so readily like, oh, I love you so much, I want to make you my girlfriend, this and that, women are turned off by that. Because it's like, why does this dude... The woman saying, why does this dude like so adamant to get with me? Whereas if he has access to multiple women, you think, okay, he has multiple women. This guy's doing something right, because the way that women shit test men... All these girls have already done it, and he's successful with all of them, so he's very, very attractive to them. And women don't like dudes being with multiple women because women get competition anxiety. So women don't like when there's other competition from women. That's why when women fight, when you guys fight, you try and destroy each other's reputations,
But doesn't that, like, kind of backfire what you just said about women being attracted to men who get a lot of women? Like, or aren't...
Which one?
What do you mean, which one?
You said something backfired.
Because you said that, like, women like men who, like, a man that's able to get a lot of a lot of girls or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
We
so-
think that that's attractive. We want that. But then on the other end, you're like, but women, you know, are competitive and they would try to ruin each other's like reputation. So
No,
that I feel like doesn't make too much
no. I'm
sense.
saying because women know about competition,
Mm-hmm.
therefore they'll try and destroy another woman's reputation, so
Right.
she won't be competition for them.
So why would we go after a man who feels like there's gonna be like competition?
Women,
no,
women
no,
go
no,
after
it's
the
into
same guys, so it's always competition. Like women put on makeup because they know they have to look their most beautiful, because they're in competition with each other. On us, even if it's on the sub.
What girls
You
do
guys,
you
like,
know?
yeah, like, for real. I don't know.
Okay, so all right, let's break it down a little. Let's break it down to like just let's think about it. If we go to the club, this is like statistically proven.
Mm-hmm.
If we go to the club and there is more men than women, no one is getting laid. You understand that?
There's more men than women.
If
Nobody
there's
gets
more men
laid.
than women, no one gets laid because women have all the options. So there's no competition anxiety
Okay.
for women. Like women are not sitting there battling each other to see which one can get the guy that's in the VIP. There's no woman is doing that, right? Which is why you go to fraternities, you go to private parties. What they want to do, what men do, because men, we have to study women to get buns. You guys don't have to study us. We need to know how you guys think in order for us to be able to reproduce. So what men do is, we're going to get, for every guy, there has to be 5 girls. And that's the ratio. Because now there's more women than there are guys. So now women are going to compete. So when the guy is given attention, the attention is scarce. So what women will do is they'll actually start communicating with a guy, giving guys chances. Whereas if there were a lot more guys, she wouldn't even give that guy a chance. You understand?
Sure.
Yeah. So there's your answer.
Yeah, I agree to that, but I also think it's not. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I think it's just so that's like such a complex like.
I mean, circumstantial, obviously. Like, there's many, but the
But
point is,
typically
it's
yeah. I mean, like think about it. Like the way we dress, the way we do our makeup, the way we do even our lashes, either the longer our hair, like it's all in competition with one another.
yeah.
Subconsciously. I don't think though we wake up and look in the mirror and say I'm gonna just compete with every girl today,
Yeah.
you know. But
No.
it is subconsciously what we
It's
do.
the same as, and I'll give you the inverse of that, right? What men do. What men do is, if there's a room full of men that man doesn't know, just pay attention. He'll poke his chest out a little bit. He'll walk a little taller, because
Oh yeah, I noticed that.
because he knows, okay, I have to let everyone know that I'm also a man in here. Like, I will knock you out, nigga. Don't, you know what I mean? That's how men think. So it's just, that's how men are. Women have their ways, men have their ways. There's nothing wrong with it.
Mhm.
But the reality is, you know, that this is what we're dealing with.
What was like the point of that? Because
Yeah,
I feel like
that's
I feel like I had a point, but
I
then it
don't
got
know,
lost
man.
in the competition.
I got lost
Well,
too.
I mean, all of that kind of stemmed from like men just like wanting to be with multiple women, and they
Okay,
can
yeah.
love one woman, but they still are gonna wanna, you know.
I think it happens whether we know it or not. Like
Men are gonna have multiple women no matter what. It's-
like maybe my partner's doing it. You better hope I never find out. Or I'll
yeah,
fucking
don't ever don't yeah.
Sorry, I just made a murder threat online. We might need to blank that out. But no, seriously, like I think everyone does that. Like I just think whether we know it or not. But I mean, I don't think that's like an issue per se.
It shouldn't be.
As
but
long as it's not in our faces.
It
I
shouldn't
think
be
that's
an
what
issue.
the problem is with women. It's not even on like a woman will say out of her mouth, I don't want my man to cheat with another girl. Obviously, that puts me in danger because now you could possibly bring home STDs. I don't want to compete with another woman. Like that's just something that would come out of a typical woman's mouth, I think. But I also think if she doesn't know what's going on or what's happening, I don't think it's a deal breaker.
yeah.
I think that's betrayal.
I mean, for sure.
So let me
If
ask-
we know about it, we're totally betrayed.
So let me
right?
ask you
Like,
this. Let me ask you guys this. Okay, now for men, right? We think it's betrayal. You're showing your ass online. Why? Because you're peacocking.
Okay.
That's
so if that's the case.
Yeah.
And that's a valid like feeling to feel. But if that's how you truly feel, are you sharing those emotions and insecurities with the woman?
Yes, the guy, like her man, he's 100% told her, I don't want you doing this, I don't want you doing that, I don't want you going to this, I don't want what that guy like if a man is even asking you where you going, that's him telling you stay your ass home and just chill, just stay home. Like anything to make sure that you're not around other men is what men want. Men do not want their girl around other men because he knows how he thinks. And he knows that if there was other girls around him, he's going to try to smash. So that's why all men don't want to put their woman, especially a woman that they love, exactly.
Right. And
Because
that makes sense.
Yeah.
But, and I'm going to say this again, I think anything and everything comes down to honesty and communication. Because, like, you could feel that way. And even when it comes down to a man wanting to have just sex with another woman, even though he loves you and wants to remain in a relationship with you, like, if you truly love that woman and if that woman truly loves you, there should be a conversation. Because at the end of the day, like, yeah, y'all got dicks and want to nut. So, like, that's biological. Like, that's understood. But if that's the decision that you're going to make, even though you know you have a partner and that's supposed to be the person you're with forever, you need to sit down and have that conversation with your partner and see how she feels about it. That doesn't mean that it really needs to be accepted or not, but if it's not accepted, you probably shouldn't be with that person.
So then how many times, and this is my contention, like I really, this is why I don't appease women. Literally, it's this thought process. I don't appease women because I don't think women are dumb. I actually think women are very smart. I love my mom. I'm somebody who I had a great mom. Like, I don't hate women. You understand? So this is my whole thing. If women know how men are, and we all know how men are, why is it that her man will cheat on her? Oh, I'm leaving. Why? If you love this man, then you should be with him forever. You get cheated on, yes. Stay with your man. Keep going through your relationship. You're gonna get married. He's gonna cheat on you. Stay with your man. It's like there's nothing you can say unless he's beating you to a pulp that you shouldn't leave your man at all ever. There's nothing you can say, like nothing. He could be dead broke, live on the street.
When you lay down the rules in the beginning, like, all right, if you ever cheat on me, like, that's it. Like,
but women are always like, first of all, and again, this is probably like, you may not agree to this, but men shouldn't really. It's not you. You have no say. The man,
I do have a say because I can pack my shit and leave.
Right at that point, but then guess what? You just got another body, which is gonna lower your value. It's not gonna affect him at all. It's just like you're gonna go through that. Imagine all men thought like a man should think. Like, be a man. Focus on yourself. Focus on your life. Build. Take care of your family. If men enacted and didn't appease women, if men just were men, how men used to be, men aren't gonna sit there and ask you how you feel about whether or not I'm gonna have sex. No, he's gonna go to another part of the world and he's gonna have sex anyway. The reason why it's such an issue now is because we all have phones, right? So you could kind of like track them and you could give them a headache. But back in the day, you weren't doing that. You were just gonna get cheated on, and that was it. You didn't even know, so you weren't really, But he would have another family. You would find out about your husband that you had this 30-year relationship with. When he dies, all of a sudden you see a whole nother family you never knew that went there. Meanwhile, you thought he was going to Canada to get wood. Yeah, he was doing that, but he was also laying down the wood. You get what I'm saying?
I think that's the issue, though, with modern day society. I think that's like an example of like what Karina with a K. Yeah. Karina with a K is saying. I think that's what the issue with modern day dating is, that we have these options. So now it's like, yeah, back in the day, a woman would stay with her one man, like no matter what he did. In fact, some women sadly would stay with men even if he did beat her to a bloody pulp, off of the value of her family or whatever the case may be. But now, in today's day and age, there's this idea where, okay, well, if you cheat on me, I can just find somebody else, or I could just go on a dating site and meet 10 to 15 other new options that could possibly be one.
In India, they say that in India, there's like still to this day, there's like, it's in the laws in some parts of India, in like a cultural part of it, where if the man dies, the wife has to die too. She burns I mean, that's extreme. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that is a thing. That is a thing where like.
But in Western world,
if the woman, but I'm just it's just the point. Like you're going with your man no matter what. Like you.
yeah,
like,
but that loyalty,
We're in it to the end, baby.
that loyalty aspect is not going to be a
That's
thing
true.
for us with our options, with our whatever what we have in the Western world, which is TikTok, Instagram, dating sites, your phone. I mean, we have all these like
Sex
privileges
for
and
sex, but not for
for
marriage.
sex,
yeah.
for marriage. I mean, you're meeting partners through these sites as well that could potentially end up as your married partner, but
You're right.
we have this is just the mentality. So women no longer have that mentality where they're like, well, I'm gonna have another body. Oh God, like they're not thinking like that. It's like literally we have the options. We're gonna do it.
Should and this is like I guess I'm asking a lot of questions. You can go ahead and ask your question. I'm just like gonna ask. But do you guys think that like it's a good thing? I don't know. Do you guys think that women having a lot of options is a good thing?
I don't think it's a good thing, and I don't think it's like, I don't know. I'm not comfortable saying it's not a bad thing either. It's not a good thing though, because yeah, like in reality, do you really have that many options though? Like you don't even know these people. You see these people like as you're scrolling, they might look good, you know what I mean? You might like what they're posting, but you have no idea like who they are, what they're really about. So like I think it's what is the word that I'm looking for? I don't know, like you just don't know. There's no known nothing. You just think that you have all these options.
Like as women or for men, you mean?
I think both, to be honest. But you
I don't think men have a lot of options at all, actually. Like men.
And you think that because you're a man.
Well, no. Well, I'm saying, yeah, men don't have a lot of options. Like I would say it as an absolute.
Well, why do you think that?
Because 1 in 3 men haven't had sex in over 1 in 3. From 17 to 35 hasn't had sex in over a year.
Okay.
Or are single. And are single, I should say.
And also modern day feminism just kind of like convinced the entire world that men ain't shit. We don't need men. We're fine on our own.
Toxic femininity.
It is toxic femininity. We can work, we can make money, and then we can also run the house on our own. If you want to be a single parent, that's cool. We'll just give you welfare. We'll just give you food stamps. We'll just give you all this. You know, so I think modern day femininity kind of like taught men that like you guys are useless when that's not the case.
Yeah,
you know,
men feel useless.
and like I
That's for
think
sure.
a better way to also frame the question is to ask a woman like, well, what if we decided that we're not going to give you options anymore? We're going to take away your phone. We're going to take away your TikTok. We're going to take away your Instagram. And now you're stuck with your one man that you decided to be with. That's your partner. You got to deal with it. Doesn't matter if you find out he's cheating or whatever. You don't have as many options. I wonder if the modern day female would be okay with that.
Well,
That's the only way to answer your question, I feel like, in terms of like
Can I just
loyalty.
add something?
Yeah, sure.
Go
Go ahead.
ahead. Well, I was just gonna say, like, based on that scenario, if like we didn't have our phones and like things were how it used to be, I think depending on how that man and my partner is treating me, regardless if I thought I had options or not, if I'm happy and he's treating me the way I think I deserve, I know I deserve, and what I'm looking for, I'm staying. If he's not, I'm leaving. I don't care if I have options or not.
Where would you go though if you had no phone, no Instagram, no nothing? You don't know where you'd meet your next partner. You don't even know where you'd live. You don't know where you'd work, where you'd make your money. What would you do? Like if you were,
I would figure it out. I would figure it out because I'm not a hopeless like human being. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think that comes natural to like any human being.
Well, let me say this, right? Because this is through the convenience of, modern civilization where you can be homeless today and move to Wisconsin with literally $30. You can get on like a Greyhound, go to Wisconsin and start a whole new life. Maybe, go into a shelter for a week or two, find a job in an office, like you're good. Life could be it could be like that, right? However, if we were in the past, right, where you had to actually have muscles to like cut down a tree or whatever, you had to have like a skill. Typically the skill would come from like your family, maybe you made whatever, did fishing nets or whatever, and you would use your hands or whatever, trade. Like, aside from that, which would be like a very niche, anything that you would do has to be like niche, right? Because you don't have like UPS trucks and whatever other trucks delivering things and materials. Like where you are, if you were like in Canada, you dealt with trees. If you were in, Florida, you dealt with sand or whatever. I don't know, but you get the point, right?
Okay.
So you don't have a lot of options to go work. You don't have a lot of options to do a bunch of nothing. It's like you have to stay with your family for survival. You have to,
depend on some men to certain degrees because you just are incapable of fighting a bear.
Yeah,
if need be.
Exactly. Like, you have to have a man. It's, in your mind, like, I need a man for survival. Nowadays, and this is thousands, who knows how many millions maybe of years of evolution. To now, we're at a point where you don't need a man. How crazy do you think, like, to men, how crazy does that sound? It's like, wait, you don't need a man? All right, well, if you don't need a man, let me just put you in this little island over here and you start your own civilization. Go find how to make fire. Go find out how to get the right wood. Go make sure you eat the right mushrooms because there's poisonous ones over there. So you go do the research on that. So a few million of you got to die doing research just to get to where we're at today.
I think the boldness and the strength and the I'll figure it out mentality does come from the modern feminist. The modern feminists taught us, girl, you can do it. You can vote now. You can do this. You can work here. You can figure it out. Like, you really don't need an individual man to do it. But my thing is if we stripped that, if we just kind of went through like back to like first wave feminism where it was just simply our right to vote and like our right to work, like.
Which is like bad. Like, who wants to work, man? That's crazy.
I mean, I don't want to work anymore. That's for sure.
The oligarchs put these things. They laid down the foundation to enslave women, and women don't see it that way. It's like, I want to work. Okay, how long? Wake up at 6 a.m. every day for who knows?
Yeah, no, we had a good deal before.
Yeah, it's
Stay
like
at home,
it's literally
take care
one
of
of
the kids,
it's literally
clean
one of the
house,
biggest
that's
feats
it.
of social engineering.
It's literally crazy.
Yeah.
We had it good.
Do you really want to work for the rest of your life? Yeah, I want to have my own vision and my own. Like, I want to be like. Show me one Bill Gates woman out here. None. You get what I'm saying? It's like, it's all delusion. You know how hard you got to listen. I could go into my room and get you like a commercial law book, and believe me, if you want to get to Bill Gates level of wealth, you got to know that. That's not even trying to make a product. Like, you got to make a product that the world needs. So that in itself is, you're competing with millions of men whose IQs, like, you know how Joe Biden, he sounds kind of off a little bit.
Okay.
Not to get political, but his IQ is 187, supposedly. I don't know, right? So imagine that guy. You're competing with that guy with 187 IQ, and like all the other guys who's 187 and whatever. That's a lot of smart men.
Yeah.
Who all they do is they're reading books like this.
But why are we competing with them?
Because the world is competition. If you don't, who's gonna make this microphone the best? You don't think the schematics is already? I could literally go to the patent office and find out exactly how this was made for free. Whatever, I'll filing whatever $25. But I can figure out. I can get the actual like exactly how it's made. It's public information, right? I gotta make one better than this. How am I gonna make one better than this? And then I gotta have the knowledge for marketing. I gotta make you believe that my product is better than this. Maybe there is no way to make it better than. Maybe this is the best way to make a mic. Period.
And man, it's not only that. They also change the rules too.
Bro, women don't understand.
To adapt women to like the workplace. Like if a woman wants to be a firefighter, they completely change like the weight of the man. Like okay, we could even take like a strictly like masculine profession, like a cop, right? If you tell a dude that's 200 pounds, get out of the car, and he says "F you," what are you guys gonna do? You try and reach for your gun, but he's quicker, so he grabs your hand first. Like, that's something where it's like female police officers, a lot of times when there's altercations, they dip, and the man's in there doing stuff.
I think the meat of what you're trying to say is, like, we as women truly, like, internally, we don't like to be competitive. We don't want to climb the corporate ladder. We don't want to compete with each other. Like in our happiest state, like we're home, taking care of the house, decorating, making sandwiches,
Facts.
cooking, whatever. Like, you know, dressing up our babies in different outfits, taking it off and not going anywhere. Like, you know, watching Lifetime movies. Like that's like
Hey,
our thing.
Amanda, let me ask you this: do you think that a lot of women can't grasp that because they haven't experienced it?
I don't think it's because I'm not a mom yet, you know, but I just don't think I just
Technically
know
you
I've been
are.
a slave. Yeah, I kind of am, but like not really yet.
Yeah.
I've just been a slave for the past 10 years. Like I've been enslaved by the feminist mindset where, you know, I'm taught like, oh, well, you have to be independent. You have to make your own money by any means necessary, including OnlyFans, working the club, showing myself half naked online because for the sake of I need money, for the sake of I need to take care of myself. And when I finally got into the mindset where I understand, like, you know what, I'm going to stop forcing it. I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to be the next Bill Gates. Like, I'm not saying I can't. I'm just saying I don't want to be. And biologically, that's okay. Like, I just need to find a partner that is going to support that as well. You know, like, granted, there are guys out there that are just freaking brokies and won't tell you that, you know, but there are guys that are out there that are like, okay, yeah, I'll work. I'll bring home the bacon. You stay home and you take care of the home. Like that's what
like
makes
the
me
ideal,
happier.
yeah, that's
when I was working as a slave, I was finishing off my night with Xanax and wine every like it literally was just like every night. Like that was my cocktail. Like that's not happy.
That's not happiness, man.
That's
So
not happiness.
even men don't want to work every day.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Modern day feminism though tells you that there's something wrong. God forbid you don't want to work. You're lazy. Get off your ass and work. Like you don't have to though. Like there's nothing wrong with as a woman wanting to be home and just raise your family. Like you don't have to be above and beyond. You don't have to do any of that.
What do you guys think about that? You guys are young. You got the world. Oh my God.
I mean, where were you like trying to go with that though?
Just the question is, what do you think about? You know, you're young, so you have ambition. Your ambitions are what? What are your ambitions?
I mean,
You want to be on the cover of your model, right? Full time now, like working, got to get gigs all day long, whatever.
right.
So you want to get to what? What's your goal?
I mean, I don't really have a goal right now. Like, I'm just, seeing where it takes me. It's taken me far, from when I started like 2-3 years ago. So, like, I just want to be able to obviously, like, stand on my own 2 feet. So, nobody can ever tell me nothing. Like,
Make money
that
so
will
you
make
can
me
dip.
happy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just me. Like,
Make money so you can be independent.
right, yeah. I feel like that's just so,
That's
you say all men cheat and you have to like be okay with this, that, and the
yeah.
third.
So this is the thing.
That's not I
Women
would
make
die
money,
alone.
yes, and believe me, most women nowadays, like look around in your own personal life. The women around, like just in general, they're single, and they're miserable. They're not happy. You don't see you're too young to really understand. But like in the 90s, you would go outside. I remember being a child and seeing smiles. Like you want to talk about happiness. Like, and the 90s was already like it was going down. But I remember going outside, seeing children outside, smiling, happy, having fun, like playing together. Like I didn't have to go to a like a specific area, a specific place so I could play video games with my boys. No, we were outside like every day. We all knew, oh, it's 4:00. We finished school. Boom, boom. By 5:30, we're outside. We're on the court. We're playing. We're doing this. We're doing that. Like that happiness. And then you see women walking around happy with their children. You see dads coming home from work. Like we saw that. Maybe in you guys didn't get to really see that like that.
I mean, we lived that. I feel like we were the kids going out, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, we've seen that. I just feel like, I don't know, everything's more expensive now. It's so much harder, in my opinion. So that's why I feel like
as women though,
Women
we
just
shouldn't
want
have to worry about that.
Women just want to work.
I really feel like we could go back to a time where the man will provide and all you have to do is simply exist and take care of the house.
It seems
and,
like
appreciate your
all
baby.
that stuff is like a defense mechanism.
Women make money so that they can leave their men. That's what because
But I don't
they don't
think
understand.
that's why. I think it's the teachings of what we're learning in school. Because think about it, like school taught us this. School made us this way.
Wait, so hold on. So here's my thing. All right.
I have something to add as well. But go ahead.
Yeah, here's my thing. Women want to even the phraseology of it. I'm independent. Now we got to question independent of what? You're doing what the fuck adults are supposed to do.
Right.
Like, you're an adult, right? As an adult, you're supposed to pay your bills. You're supposed to know how to wipe your ass.
Yeah.
Like, it's adult. You're
But
being
who
an
taught
adult.
us that?
Hold on. Well, who taught us what?
I don't think, like, the thing is like, I don't think, sure, in a way you're right. Like, we're going to have money so that way we don't have to rely on anyone, men, women, whatever. Like, you don't want to rely on anyone. But who taught us to have that mentality? It's the school system that taught us,
Yes.
we need to be feminist. You can get out there and vote. You can go and start your own company. You can start your own business, make your own money. You don't need to rely on a man. But what if one day you wake up and you're like, well, I still want to. I want to find my partner. Like, I want, that's what I want to do.
You're going to get shamed.
I think most realize that way too late.
I don't, but I also don't
time's
think
up.
that women, like, in their heart and soul, I think that's what we're taught. But I think when it comes down to it, when we're miserable and we are taking our Xanax and sipping our wine at the end of the night, we're like, damn, we're so damn unhappy. I'm doing the best that I could. I'm working 40 hours a week and it's still not enough money. Or I'm working the club and I'm doing these gigs and it's still not enough money. I'm still not happy. Why is that?
How many strippers own homes? Not many. You know what I'm saying? It's like
it's just what society. I think like we have to clean out what society is teaching us. I don't think women are sitting there maliciously saying, "Oh well, I want to just be able to leave my man one day." No, it's not because you want to do that.
So,
It's
but
'cause
that's
what
like,
we're
but that's
taught
like
to
saying
do.
that women are not intelligent. See, like that's
It's
my
not
whole
that
thing.
we're not intelligent. It's that that's what we've been poisoned with in
Programmed.
society.
If women been
it's
programmed.
Poison.
All right.
It's that's what we've been fed in school. We've been fed that this is what we need to do. Instead, now
I agree.
modern day feminists might kill me for this one, but if we one day redesigned the whole Department of Education and we put men in a separate place where they're learning male things and workforce things, and we put women in a different school where they're learning home ec and they're learning how to care for a baby and they're learning, I'm not saying like don't be wise and don't know the ways of the world, but like if we became focused on that, I guarantee you we'd have a new generation of happier women.
I agree
People
with
that will have kids again, people that'll stick with one partner no matter what. We wouldn't even think about men cheating. I'm not even gonna be thinking about that because I'm gonna be so happy taking care of my house.
Yeah.
In the ways that I learned
agree.
in school.
Yeah,
I
that's-
also
Go ahead. Yeah. No,
So-
she had something to say.
just to add, I also think that like I understand what everyone's saying, but I think like for me, this is my perspective. I think it all comes down to like who the individual is, male or female, and what goals you have set for yourself. Of course, those things stem from how you're raised, what you learn as you grow up, you know what I mean? But I don't like for real, and this is me speaking to myself, like for myself, I don't think every woman like just wants to stay home or wants to even be a mother. Like, is that natural? Yes, it is. It is. We are caregivers, but like,
Here's
I'm not, and I'm gonna be straight up. Like, would I love to have a family and have babies and take care of them? Of course. Would I love to raise little mini me's and create life that goes on after me? Of course. But like, I'm not sitting here saying like I'm meant to be a mother.
It's
Like,
biological.
but
it
that's
is
like that's like saying
biological,
you're not.
and I know that, but that's not what I'm like choosing. I rather, not rather, but like if life doesn't end up being the certain way I want in order for me to be a mother,
Let me
and
ask-
maybe it is conditional. But there's other goals and there's other things that I, as a human being and as an individual, want to achieve.
I want to ask you a question. I want to ask everyone this question. And this is a hypothetical, perhaps. It may be true. Who knows, right? What if there's a plan that you don't know about, that we don't know about, that's to depopulate the world, to make you think like that, to make men think the way men think, to make sure that we're at odds, to make you believe that going to work that's like literally the equivalent. When I hear you say that, I think of men who are in prison who are going to make, plates for 25 cents a day. Like, that's what I'm thinking when I hear you say that.
Why do you think that way, though?
Because you are working as a king. My wife, my woman is not going to work. My wife does not work. Listen to what I'm saying. This is how men are. I'm a man. Like my wives don't work. Can't work. Hell no. That's what I do. I want you to raise my children. That's what you're going to do. And it's not an option. It's not like I wouldn't date a woman who I got to sit here and convince her to be a mom. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is crazy to me. Like men right now are sitting around trying to court younger women, right? Because you guys are at your prime. Like you guys are beautiful. And these dudes are out here trying to convince you guys to be wives. I don't do that. I got options. Get out of here. Go do you? Oh, you want to be a feminist? Cool. Like whatever. I'll see you in 10 years when you're miserable. Like this is a woman who y'all. I mean, if you see her Instagram and see like model, like goddamn famous, like all this shit, and she finally was like, all right, you know what? Something's off here. It's like, you know, you watch The Matrix and it's like you unplug
you
and you just
wake
like,
up and you realize like the intentions of the world like are really to break up the family. Like
Legit.
think about it. Like climate change, how does that relate? Oh, don't bring kids into this world because this world may not live to see 100, you know, and now you feel selfish. Like, well, okay, I won't have any kids because I don't want to bring my generation to a world that's gonna end, you know, or just like it all funnels into that, into like don't have kids. But what's wrong? Like you said, I would love to have a kid. I would love to have a family. You know, I'd love to. You admitted that.
Yeah.
What's wrong with just doing that?
There's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
There's
Like,
absolutely
why
nothing
do you
wrong.
have that inclination? And I'm not saying this is your fault. It's not an
Right.
attack on you.
Uh-huh.
But I'm just saying, why do you have this inclination where I'm like, okay, I would love to have this family, but let me stick my leg out of that and let me make sure I have other goals and aspirations. Like, what's wrong with just...
for me personally, I think it's because before, when I was a little girl, before like men and liking boys for real, or even knowing like what love was, I had a dream. I had a passion. So this is my like personal and my, as Karina, my individual like story. And you know, that was something that I always told myself that I'm going to go after and try to achieve until I cannot no more. And not a man, not anybody, family, friends, whatever it is going to stop me from doing that.
Do you know if you ask children that are between the ages of 11 and I think 6 to 11, that you ask them, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they'll say something like they want to be doctors, lawyers, they want to be policemen, they want to be things like that, right? But then you ask those same kids when they're like 18, and majority of them don't want to do those things anymore, right? Because it's like...
But I'm sitting here at 26 saying the same thing I said when I was 3 years old.
Right. And now I would ask the question, like, where did that programming come from? Where did those thoughts come from? Like, why do you think, and maybe this is just like my male ego kind of thinking, right?
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to, it doesn't matter what I do. I want to be the best at what I do, right? So if I'm going to own trucks, for example, I'm going to try to own 100,000 trucks. I want the biggest trucking company in the world. If I'm going to own a supermarket, I want to franchise the supermarkets. Like I'm not going to ever stop. I'm trying to become Jeff Bezos out here, right? That's like how I think. I don't see that in women, but I hear that kind of talk. Like, I want to be this, blah, 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 blah. Like, I want to be successful and be strong. And all this, like, I hear it, but I don't see it happening. It's just, I'm going to talk like I want to be an entrepreneur and this and that up until I'm in my 30s when my eggs are drying up. Now I'm going to do the whole 180 on you, and I'm gonna try to be submissive because I fucked up, and I know I should have been doing this since back in the day, but now please, I'm good now. It's like, who's teaching women this stuff?
Right. I think it stems from like society, period, but also like family or just like the people you were around growing up. You know, and also like I can sit here and admit that like I'm 26. I know what I know, and I feel this way through like my experience. I'm not a mother yet. You know what I mean? I haven't been in like certain positions or circumstances where like maybe other thoughts would arise in my head. But speaking on like my goal that I have for myself, and it not simply being like to be just a mother or to choose like being a mother over my goals that I have. It's not about being the best, the biggest out of everybody. It's about being the best and biggest for myself.
Right.
And that's, you know,
Now,
I think that's something that makes me me. That makes me.
I'm a pry into that.
Okay.
All right. What would you like to accomplish?
What would I like to accomplish? I would like to, honestly, my biggest dream is to have a world tour. Yes, I would like to have a platform where I'm able to share my music, my message, to influence others onto a positive message. Like I said, my song is called One of One. I truly think that individuality is something so unique and special. A lot of people think that their differences, you know, is something that you should compare. But I think the simple fact that there's only one of you is so special.
Over having a family? Like, that's like your end goal?
Over having a
Totally.
family, if I can make...
Like, what's your end goal? Like, if you're like at 45, 50 years old, and, and you can paint your perfect life,
Right.
What would that look like?
I would achieve all of that first. And even
Okay.
if I'm 45, say I can't have kids.
Right.
But a man comes into my life and I truly love him and I wanted to have a family with him, then I'm going to adopt at that point.
Well,
Like,
yeah, no.
then
Any
I'm
option,
gonna-
yeah. But
yeah.
you
But is that
ultimately
your-
would like a family.
Your best life. Like if you were to paint your best life, how would
Without
that look?
complications,
Yeah,
of
with-
course.
Without
and-
complications.
Yeah.
Then to paint my best life without complications, that's not realistic. But
What do you mean? Why not? Who taught you this shit? Who?
life taught me that.
All right.
Life
So
taught me
all right.
that.
So in,
And I know like everyone in this room can literally relate. Life is not perfect.
My life is
There's
great.
complications every single day.
my life. Listen.
Life is
you
great.
manifest what
Life
you think.
is great, and you're supposed to have gratitude every single day.
Do you believe in the
Correct.
Bible?
You know what? You know what that is? I was actually just speaking of this today on Instagram. How you're saying that because of the way the world is. The world will paint the picture that like they always tell you all these bad stories and all these things that are going on, and they never give any remedy or a way or a way to fix it. So knowing that a person can fall into despair, and then once you get into despair, you get a certain energy about you where it's like, oh, what the hell's the point? It's all hopeless, this and that. But that's really not how it is. There's
No,
a lot
it's
of
not.
good people out there and a lot of good situations.
Yes.
But people will let these traumas program them, and it'll affect their thought forms. And most of your thought forms come from things like that.
Yeah, which I can agree and can relate as well.
Your perfect life.
But I'm just saying, like, saying life has no complications is like a little.
Well, yeah, no, but like
With-
if
with
you can,
regards
if
to
you had
this-
a magic wand and you
Okay,
can
if I
just,
had a magic
Yeah.
wand, I would be on a tour right now. All of y'all would buy tickets to my
No,
tour
no.
as well.
When
And
you're
then-
45.
Okay,
45.
and by the time that I'm 45, yes, of course, I would love to be married and have maybe like 2 kids.
Like already have had 2 kids.
By 45, yes.
So
And
what
maybe
age
had
would
my
you start?
Maybe have my first kid at like 30, my early 30s, and then have my second kid probably by my late 30s or so.
Geriatric, meaning that you could possibly die.
Oh no,
Having-
she waved the magic wand.
Yeah, so no complications.
No
here.
complications.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's her ideal life, but that's proof that biologically, we as women, that's what we want, truly. I'm not saying don't have other passions and hobbies
Right.
and stuff that you like to do that make you know,
Right.
I will always love beauty. You know, I'll always love acting and comedy and making skits on TikTok. Like, that's something I enjoy.
Right.
But I feel like the priority, the problem is that many women are making climbing the corporate ladder success, or I want to be a musician and I have to outbeat Ice Spice and Cardi B and all these people because, you know, you want to make it big, you want to get on tour, you want to sell out all these
Masculine
stadiums.
traits,
You know,
conquest.
We're taught that, and we spend our entire lives doing that. Maybe we do hit that success that we want, and then we're 45 years old.
Very
We can't
few.
have kids anymore. Now we are in a place where we can't have kids anymore. We
Right.
don't have any options in terms of guys who want to marry us because we're already at the end. We've reached the end of our prime years and years ago, and now we've never made having kids or starting that family a priority. We made our career success a priority.
Right.
So what I'm trying to say, like with women, is like, have your hobbies, of course. Like, do things that you like. You like to cook, you like to collect bottle caps, do it. Like,
Right.
but if you made your priority having a family, everything that follows at the end of the day, you don't think a happier life lies for you at 60 years old when you have your 2 kids and your husband and your family, and then you also did music also at the same
Right.
time, and you also did your tour, and you also did.
To me, that is like, yeah, the uncomplicated way that it could be, sure. But like I can sit here and confidently say like I'm much at 45 or 50, whatever age it would be, I much rather regret not starting a family than regret not giving my all to the true passion that I know I love. Honestly.
Wait, you'd regret. I'm sorry if you could. Just,
I would regret more not going after my dreams and my goals and working as masculine as it might sound or not.
Yeah.
Like that's what I personally want to do.
Right.
Is it right as a female? Like I don't know, but it's me. You know what I mean? Whether you think that's valid or not. Like I'd rather regret not possibly starting a family versus like not going after my dreams and goals, even if the dreams and goals didn't work out.
And it's interesting because I had a panel of women that they went to Rutgers University, so they were like 22. I think one of them was like 20, and another was like 23. So I'm hearing this is we're not gonna understand this because this is literally the new generation's way of thinking, like literally.
I thought that was my way of thinking as well.
Oh really?
Years
You
ago.
thought like that? Yo,
I definitely
when
thought
I was
my one thing was career and making money, and I wanted to be rich, and I wanted to be able to have like everything I wanted, and I didn't consider. I didn't know it was gonna be. By the way, I wasn't planning to be pregnant and have this family at 31. Like it wasn't really a plan. It's just kind of like, okay, this is what I'm doing. But like at one point, I was just like, well, if I don't have kids, I'm fine. If I comes to a point where I'm gonna adopt, I had the same exact mentality as she had, until I one day literally was like, yo, I'm not happy. Like I'm just not happy. Like I'm like literally turning to Xanax for happiness to be able to just like numb myself to sleep. I wasn't a crackhead, but like to numb myself to sleep, you know, and or wine and weed and all this stuff. Like I wasn't truly, I had to really get real with myself where I'm like, all right, if I make my family the priority, I feel like I can still make my career things happen. Like it's not just one or the other, you know what I'm saying? But
let me ask
it's
this.
better than being alone.
Let me ask you this question. For someone, let's say you meet your boyfriend, right? Let's say he hits the lottery, boom bam. Now he's, able to take care of you. And matter of fact, let's just be more realistic. Let's just say he's working hard and he's telling you like, look, I want to support you in your career. I want to help you, but I want to have children, and I want to have children before I'm 30. I want to be a young dad and he lists all the benefits to being a young father, a young mother. Like he's telling you about how it's going to be beneficial for your body, how it's going to be good for you and good for him. And, he wants his and your mom and dad to be grandparents. So he wants to be able to, while they're alive, for them to share that and all that. If he told you that and he gave you that like as an ultimatum, would you leave him?
I wouldn't leave him, but I have to be ready within myself. Like, I don't care what you have to say. I mean, you can have your own beliefs, like, but if I feel like I'm not ready, I'm not gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like, I have to really like see myself. I still have yet to like want a kid, so I just have a solid mind. Like right now is not the time. Like you can offer me anything, but if I don't want it, I'm not gonna do it.
Do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of in Germany. German lost the war. Like I don't know, like in the 1920s or whatever, they were at war and they was just getting their ass whooped. And when I believe they had their own version of like Federalist Papers, they were kind of describing what's going on in their government and this and that. And what they found was that the reason why they lost the war was because the German people were too smart. That's literally their conclusion was that we have too many thinkers and not enough soldiers. So what I think is that we have too many people right now that they want to be the boss of they just is boss babe mentalities, right? It's like no one wants to just submit to a man. No one wants to just like, I'm just gonna have $0 in my bank account and I'm gonna trust this man to make it happen for me because I'm intelligent enough to make the right decisions with who I want to be with. I'm wise. I have my dad telling me like, oh yeah, he's a good man. Like my family's behind me. My family's supporting my decision and being like, that's not like in the cards for a lot of you women nowadays. And I think that plays a big role as to why you guys think the way you guys think. when you speak to people who have old money, excuse me, they don't think like that. Like women, like old money, they're really big on marriage. That's like the goal. These women, that is the goal. It's like for everyone else. Everyone else is on. We gotta hustle and bustle to get, to the life that we want. But the people who have the life that they want, they have a structured life, and they teach their children what's important. And usually, it's always family. So it's like, for me personally, like I hear what you guys are saying, and I go for your dreams. Like, I'm all for all of it. Like, do whatever you want to do. I would just say, like, consider, the reality of life. Life is cold.
Yes.
And at some point, hopefully you guys don't, like, men, I would hate for you guys to find out that the world is cold. You know what I mean? Like that, my goal, I would never want my wife to experience like a cold world. I want her to feel secure. I want her to always feel happy, like and this is me, like, in order to be a good mom, you have to be in a good place. If you're not in a good place, like, you got to go to work now, you can't really take care of your children the way that maybe they deserve. You can't give them that attention. And yeah, once they're in school, then yeah, now you got more freedom to kind of go about your life and do whatever, focus on your passion or go to work, get a part-time. But during those formative years, like between 1 and 5, 6, I'd say, I think a woman should just be focusing on her children, her family, and I think that should be the goal. Is for, you'll see when you get older. I mean, I don't know.
Or maybe I just think like there just needs to be an awakening that the real prize at the end for women is to have her thriving family and to have her kids. Like that's the ultimate reward, and everything you can do, everything you want in between. There's no. I'm not saying like as a woman drop everything and just be a house slave and just only have kids and that's all. Like no.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if the mentality changes to I'm gonna strive to find the best man that I can reproduce with, who I know is gonna take care of me, has good morals, is gonna take care. Not even about money. It's just about is he gonna give you his last 5 out of 10? You know what I'm saying? Like it's little character traits like that. Like money can come and go. Man could be poor today and rich tomorrow, and vice versa. So it really doesn't matter in terms of like how you meet the guy financially.
Right.
But if you make your sole purpose in life, and it sounds crazy, like feminists would literally like be like, what the fuck? It sounds crazy, but if you said, okay, I'm gonna go out and find the best man possible to make a family with, that's what I'm gonna do. Everything else I can still do. You can still have your hobbies, you can still build your career, whatever you want to do. The end result will be nothing but happiness, no matter what. Whether you achieve great fame and as a musician, whether you decide I don't want to be a musician anymore, I want to become an author, and you become a great author. Whether you don't, I feel like at the end of the day, you will always, if that becomes the goal, you won't be disappointed ever. You won't be looking at the bottom of an alcohol bottle, because you're like, fuck, like I didn't make it to where, because life's. And there are circumstances, like we said, like it doesn't always work the way you want it to. But would you ever want to be in a place where you're like, damn, I'm like 55 and I put all of my chips in becoming a famous musician. It didn't happen for me for one reason or another. And now I'm lonely. I'm coming home to an empty house or just my dog or my cats. And there is no kids for me. Like I just have to accept my situation. Or would you rather come home to a house full of kids, my husband, everything, after a long day of trying yet again to hit some sort of fame or success in my music career, but at least I have this happiness at home. Like I think biologically, like all women would just be happy. Like it's just a biological thing. It's not even like I'm just trying to tell you what to do, whatever. I think it's just a biologically, like you will be happier that way. And I'm telling you because I've been at that.
Yeah,
been at the place.
No, and I
the
think
same place.
I think you make a lot of sense. And of course, like at the end of the day, yes, like family is the most prized possession
what you have
in
at
life.
the end of the day. Yeah,
that's what unconditional love is. I love my family. I have a huge family, and I have tons of cousins and all that. And yes, kids and the next generation is so important to continue that legacy. But for me, I think, and my opinion could change. Yes. Like as I grow, as I experience life, But again, I will sit here and confidently say, like, yes, I will be 55 and go home to an empty house. But if I know that I tried my best and took every single opportunity and continue to push for whatever goal it is, no matter what it is, being an artist, being an author, beauty, making rugs, whatever it may be. And if it didn't work out, will it be like disappointing in a way? Sure. But do I feel confident and capable that I will still make the most out of my life no matter what happens, what age I'm in? Yes. Yes. And I'll be alone and like
and working
be home
and,
alone.
and working like a job every day, you know, not being able to say
And-
that you did something spectacular in life.
Mhm.
Not only that,
I think it's willpower is spectacular. And I say this because, like you said, you know, maybe you have to experience or I would hate for you to one day to like see that the world is cold, or I wouldn't want my female to feel that way.
right?
But, you know, speaking for myself, I know that already. I was proven that at a young age. So maybe that's where these feelings and thoughts are stemming from, because I know that.
Do you
already,
you have your mom and dad?
No. I have my mom.
Okay. So you have a support system?
Sure.
All right. Imagine that support system when you're 55 is gone.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just you.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that right now in your life is 50 and up, when you're 55, will either need you to help them, right? Or they may not be around. So like that part of, you know, maybe you're thinking, oh, 55, I'm going to just still have the same love and everybody, like, you know, your friends from high school, you're not going to be talking to, your model friends,
Yeah.
you're not going to be talking to, you're going to.
But I don't think that, though. I literally just said that I would go home and be alone, and that's okay.
Right. And to my point, you know, if, you know, why decide to be potentially miserable, right, and alone when you can still do all the other wonderful things that life has to offer, still chase your dreams, still do all these great things, and also have a family. Just by shifting what your goals are just slightly, you could still do everything that you want to do, but now you're going to do it with a partner, with somebody that actually cares for you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there is nothing
But the
wrong.
mind state is you have to do that by yourself, because the dating game is, if this guy doesn't meet all these boxes, I'm going to break up with him. Like, the odds of you and your relationship working out, there's a 99% failure rate in relationships in general. You understand? So odds are you guys aren't going to survive.
Mm-hmm.
That's a shitty statistic, but it's real. And 86% of marriages fail. So even if you have a successful dating relationship, now you have an 87% chance of not dying with your husband. You know what I'm saying? So this is the reality that we're living in. So it's not a natural thing. It's not like we're here sitting and trying to, like, I'm not trying to school you. Do whatever the hell you want. Like, you know, live your life. Live your best life. You know, if you, I like, you give me a vibe, like your vibe. I love the way you speak. You're articulate. You're smart. Like, I could already tell you're a good person, right? If there was another kind of girl here and she was telling me, like, if we were having the same conversation and let's say she was like more thotty and more angry and aggressive and disrespectful, I'll tell her, yeah, go give your buns up to who she probably already did. But ultimately, when she's 55 years old, she's not going to be happy, and I'd hate to see a good person at 55 not being happy. You know, so it's like elder wisdom. It's like, I'm just looking out for you. You know what I'm saying? Where no one's going to give a fuck, and the world doesn't care. Like, there's so much stuff that you don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane. I could sit here and go through shit. Like, what do you think? You think I'm here because I'm just a retard? Like, no. It's a lot of shit that I had to learn. So for me to know, like, what I had to learn and what I had to do, because I came from the bottom. For me to be where I'm at, I had to seclude myself and put myself in a position where all I did was study, focus. Like, I was really, for years, right? To think that women got to go through that. so that they can be successful. To be alone, yo, that shit is crazy. And to want to do that, that's even crazier.
Yeah, but it's not wanting. I think it's just like knowing that if that's the way it happens, I'm fully capable of like
Being okay with
being
it.
that way. Yes, and I will accept it. Yes. It's
Alright.
not wanting. You know, touching on what she said, I don't think it's like the perfect picture is not like wanting to be alone. Of course, the want is to like have a husband and have a family, but it's like accepting the fact, because there are women out there that will do whatever it takes just to find a man so they can become a mother. Like that's crazy to me. Yeah, so you're gonna love those kids for the rest of your life, and those are gonna be your offspring, and like those are gonna be the people closest to you. Yes, but like I don't know.
You think
I don't
that's
know.
crazy?
Yeah.
I feel like you're like trying to put everything you have into music, so that it's like at the end of the day you can say I gave it my absolute all. I didn't have a kid and had to take a break and do this, that, and the third. Like,
Yeah.
How many? Let me ask just a kind of random question. If you guys had to assume, and these guys are producers, and they're also artists back there. They have, shout out to the guys in the back. How many artists would you say like are out here? Like, if you had to say, maybe a million. For example, I play football, right? So I love my sport. So I knew my chances. I have a less than 1% chance to make it to the NFL. When I play football, I was good. I was above average. I was ranked. So like I had a higher possibility of getting to accomplishing my goal, but it was still very low possibility. So I knew like, oh man, maybe, I'm gambling, right? I'm gambling with my life. How many, like, what are the odds of somebody making it to like Ice Spice level, or
Well,
being able to live off of their
that's
artistry?
the very exact thing.
Mhm.
Is like the odds are so slim. So why would I do anything that makes those odds even slimmer?
I think that right there, that's also the issue.
It's probability, not it's like
Because
the possibility and not the probability.
what if I said, let's say you fall pregnant tomorrow, and you're like, I'm gonna have a baby. This is it. Now I have to take a break from music. Now this is gonna slow me down potentially. What if I told you you can literally go from 0 following to literally Ice Spice level in just 1 year's time? If you have your kid, you do what you got to do. Now you you're back in the studio, and it's back to music. You can still hit in that same way, just as Ice Spice. For all we know, Ice Spice has 5 kids. For all we know, right? Yeah. She probably doesn't, but like for all we know, right? She hit in like a year. Like literally in like.
It only takes one video for you to actually like go viral and make it.
You can still do that, and like this is just the awakening that I want for women. I know it's not going to probably happen to you right now, and maybe not next week, maybe not next month, maybe not next year, but I want there to be an awakening where women strive for that still have that familial strive where you create the family and still can still reach their goals as well. You can still do both. You really can. And
I think that is possible. I'm not saying that you can't.
It's
do
the
both.
reluctancy though that I want to get rid of. Like the feeling of like that's not so sure for me. You would rather die by your music, by your art, than die by let me have my kids first, and if music follows, great, and if music doesn't follow, whatever.
And I think that thought also stems from, because like, is it a traditional way of thinking? Is it a delusional way of thinking? Maybe. But like, I want to find a man to love me for the rest of my life.
And you can. And like
to impregnate me. And I do want to die with that man. And I do want to raise that family.
But also
Preach.
it's what we
That's what we want.
subscribe to too. It's the problem is Instagram, TikTok, everything that it's teaching us. Like literally we're taught in the music that we listen to. Men ain't shit.
Yeah.
Women shake your ass. Look at Sexy Red, like how she promotes herself.
She's,
all
even
that
Ice Spice. I do not want to be like Ice Spice.
Like all of these artists like feed us this poison to carry ourselves in certain ways. Instagram makes you feel like you have options, so fuck being faithful to one dude or working it out and putting all my chips with one dude, because I could just log on Instagram and just get a new guy tomorrow, like no big deal. Or like forget a family. I'd rather gain clout now and get famous and become an artist. Forget that. I can do family later. But if we did it like reversed, I just feel like there's just a happier outcome for women. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you're not wrong, but also in my head, like why it makes sense to me the other way is because once my success, at whatever level it may be, because like I'm not gonna sit here and say I have to be the next Ice Spice, or I'm not even gonna continue saying her name. I have to be the next a Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber, even the next Drake. Like, no, yes, is that probability very extremely, very, very thin? Yes, but do I have certain levels of what success looks like for me? Yeah, but like, oh fuck, I forget where I was going with this.
It's difficult.
Okay.
Okay,
I remember. I'm sorry.
All right.
But I would like to achieve that success first. That way, when it comes time for my family to be here, they're good. I'm gonna bring my children into. Is it realistic? I don't know. Is it the way I want it? Yes. I want to bring my children into the best world that I could possibly give them. I want to bring my children into the best scenario that I can possibly do.
Wouldn't that be with a man involved?
Let me ask you this though. Don't you think like, I mean, you're an artist, right?
Yes.
So don't you think like, if you did have a child while you're doing all this, maybe that'll give you some more motivation or some more, what's the word, inspiration?
Yes, but as an artist, my mind is already crazy and delusional. I can think that way without, like, you know what I mean? And like STEM song ideas, like, I don't know.
No, he means like if you have a child, would that motivate you to work that much harder? Use your child as the motivating factor for your life moving forward.
Yes, of course. But like, this is gonna sound selfish, but then it's not just my life. You know what I mean? So like, yes, are they gonna be a motivational factor? Are they gonna be a purpose for me? Of course they will be. But like, putting my all into this other thing is probably, it's not gonna be able to be my all, because my all is gonna go to my children. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like, that's not like realistic for me. Are they gonna add motivation? Like, sure, but like that's not what I want.
Let me ask this other question, I guess, to kind of just understand your life a little bit. Are you sexually active?
Yes.
So if a child happens, like at that point,
then that's something that I have to deal with. But am I taking every precaution not to become pregnant right now? Yes.
Okay. Well, I want babies in the world. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So
and I'm not saying that's not gonna ever happen.
Because
you
know what it is.
The way I would like it to go.
You know what it is. Also, like I just watched. I don't know if you guys you know who Bill Maher is.
No, I'm not sure.
Okay, Bill Maher is like this guy who he's a commentator. He's like a political comedian. He's like Bill Maher. Everybody knows Bill Maher besides you guys. So Bill Maher, right? He just had a podcast with PBD. Patrick Bet David. I don't know if you guys know who that is. His podcast is called Valuetainment. Shout out to that podcast. It's great. So PBD, he's very like family oriented. He believes in like, children and having children and men being successful and so forth and so on, whatever. But Bill Maher, he's like completely depopulationist. Like he does not want people to have children. He doesn't want children. He literally says he hates children. He's somebody who thinks the world is overpopulated, that the world needs to go down to 300 million people. All right. This is like elitist mentality. A lot of elitist Charles Schwab, like the people that work for the WTF, like, or what is it? The World
Economic Forum.
World Economic Forum. Like, they believe that the world should have 300 million people. Like, that's the best like situation for the world. There's more than that, just like in a state.
Mm-hmm.
So can you imagine, like, this is what these people are saying? And I just think that the mentality that the youth is being taught now is kind of like leaning towards not having children, like population collapse.
Yeah, it's a huge psyop.
It's enslavement. They want to eventually use you as pawns.
But the youth don't see that.
No, they don't, and that's why it's gonna take an awakening. Like if I could argue anything, the people who really made it to become real like power players, Kim Kardashian, for example. I love her example. I know some people are indifferent about her, but it wasn't until after she had kids that she had Skims, and Skims is now, it's a top company, right? Like. True. Kylie Cosmetics, even she had it before her kids, but it didn't become as big as it truly did, where she's like a billionaire until after she had Stormy, right? Like, I feel like all of these big players in the world all have kids first. They all have their and the reason being is like, forget whether they pushed it out themselves, maybe they adopted somebody. I just feel like the idea of having this team, this clan that you have, and now you go towards your goals. I mean, 3 heads are better than 1.
Yeah.
4 heads, 5 heads, 6 heads are better than 1. Imagine you had 6 heads behind you to produce. Because realistically, if you want any type of like huge success as a company, as a brand, as a creative or whatever, these people have a lot of people behind them.
Yeah,
Kim Kardashian, even with all her money, she has tons of great minds behind her. CEOs, C-suite executives that are making this Skims company work. It's not just her. She's not just by herself. It's a team. Exactly. So, and then her family. We don't even need to argue with her family's fucking power, power plant.
Powerhouse, yeah.
But it's the same idea. And like the reason why the world is, I feel like, pushing people away from the family aspect is because they want you to be alone. They want you to get to that point. All right, sure, bet. Don't have family. Go become the next Cardi B. Now we can use you as a pawn to go and spread, because your music will change once you become famous. Just saying. Like once the industry comes and puts their hands on it, they're gonna create what they want to create for you.
That's if I sign.
Yeah,
to a
so
major
you might
record label.
believe in one of one, and that's your thing. But if someone comes and says, "I don't want you to do one of one. I want you to talk about other people,"
Right.
and
that's up to me to make that decision.
of course, but it's up to they're going to. That's going to be what drives your career. Because if they say, "Oh, I want you to produce. I want you to create this song. This is," and you're like, "I don't want to do this song. It's not. This doesn't speak to my brand." Okay, well, bye. I have this other girl that wants to come and do it too.
So let her.
But
do
imagine, right? Exactly, and you'll have your, you'll decide whether you want to go from there or not. But what I'm saying is like, I want to just change the narrative for people. And like I said, it's not going to happen for you today, next week, next month, next year. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I'm not sure. I hope it does. Because what I want people to realize and what I want people to awaken to is, you know what? Let me build my unit. Let me build my clan. Let me build my little army. And then let me go towards my goals. Imagine how much powerful you'll be then. You know, how much more famous, if it's fame that you want, if it's money that you want, if it's power.
But the clan is children?
The children are you build them up. They end up working for you. Look at Blue Ivy. Blue Ivy's like Beyonce's head dancer now.
Look at the
like,
Kanye West just put his child, in his music.
Yeah, that song is lit because of North. Like,
she's
saving him.
He's teaching his child about business, and I'm sure that she knows so much already, but he's putting her in position to actually now be involved. And, he's a smart man, so I'm sure that, he feels that she's at a point in her life where she can be in the public eye a little more,
She's going to be the next generation. Like,
Yeah.
realistically,
real
Kanye's
wealth
age,
is family.
Yes, it is.
And when you have little ones, they're going to be growing up with your same mindset, and they're little versions of you.
They're the next generation,
Literally.
no matter what.
So something that you start, they could potentially finish.
Right.
And that's usually how,
or
like,
continue.
if you look at like a lot of great businesses, they're all family run, and it's all generational stuff, and that's how it is.
That's how old
but
money
without
happens.
family, that's how old money happens.
Eventually, your brand will be old money. It'll be like, my great grandma. She was this, amazing performer, and like all your kids went behind your label, and now you guys, your kids are eating for years to come. They don't even need to work. They could literally right out of the womb. They're in private school and in however way you want them to live, whatever lifestyle that is. But I just feel like, like, why not build that team first? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at, and like, honestly, I wouldn't even have listened to Kanye West's new album if it wasn't because North was on that track, honestly.
Yo.
For real. Like, that's what turned me on. I was just like, oh shit, it's North. Like, I liked it, and then it got me to listening to his other stuff. But his time has come and gone.
Yeah, just like everyone, everyone's gonna.
It's the kids' turn.
Yeah.
Now, so.
Yeah, we have, it's, just being in this field. I've spoken to the younger generation, and they think like that. And these two young women, they are way better than what I've spoken with. Like, I've spoken with some hardcore feminists that they don't want. They hate men. They don't care about what you think. you know, they're gonna conquer the world, and that's fine. That's all good, but you know, like I said, you have, you know, you have to do your makeup, right? That, you know, let's say that takes an hour of your day, and there's guys out there who they don't do makeup, so that hour that you spend every single day to do your makeup, that's an hour that a guy or whatever a guy's taking to get better at what you're doing. So you're in competition with that next usher dude trying to make it. And I'm not saying that you're not better than him. Like, I love your voice, by the way. Definitely gonna support you in any way that I can. I'm just saying, you know, I just know it's like life. You know, life will teach you lessons, and at least you could have a family to kind of, you know, if you have a family, you're always gonna be protected. If you're out here by yourself, then, you know, it just sucks.
3 minds are better than one.
Yeah.
That's what I always say.
So you guys are kind of quiet over there. So I mean, is there anything else you guys want to talk about, or?
Go ahead, Karina.
I don't know. Do you have any other topics?
Well,
Or-
I mean, there's a million topics, but I mean, I don't know. It's 10:52. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, go ahead.
The bottom line is, I don't know. I just feel like me and her are alike in a lot of ways. Like, we've been through a lot of stuff. So, like, my parents, like, they put me through a lot of stuff. So I just don't want to ever put them through what I've been through. So I want to just wait till I'm financially stable. That's why I kind of don't want to have a kid right now. It's not that I don't want to. Like, of course, if I was, like, financially stable, then maybe I would. But yeah, I feel like
If you got a man that was financially stable, would you then have a kid?
no,
have a child?
because I'm not ready right now.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's
So why would
my
you
stance
date?
on it.
Why would you be dating and all that?
For the future,
Mm.
for it to happen in the future when I'm ready, when I feel like I'm ready. I'm not gonna have a kid just because, you know, everybody's ideal, like your stance on it, you know, women should have it before 30 or this, that, and the third. Like, I'm gonna do it because I fully know I'm ready, and I'm gonna do it. Like, I don't know. I feel like everybody's different in their own way.
I can respect that. I feel like, you know, she's not awakened yet as to, like, you know, what my reasonings for having a kid or your reasonings for starting a family. Like, and that's fine. I think I definitely don't believe people should just dive into things blindly, because that can cause unhappiness too, you know, and like loss of direction. Like, you want to have a direction. You want to know what you're doing and do it confidently, you know. So I can respect that.
You got anything to say, Scott?
Yeah, we touched on a lot of these topics. I mean, I would mainly go back to, like, where do the thought forms come from that program women with this? I mean, a lot of things that you were speaking about. I think you mentioned something about the way you grew up, and you said you wouldn't want it to be like that for your kids or something along those lines. There's a famous quote, right, about there are these two brothers, right, and they grow up with an abusive alcoholic father. One grows up to be an abusive alcoholic father. The other one grows up to be a successful family man. He's also a doctor. And when they asked both of them, why did you choose this life path? They both said, what choice did I have? Look who my father was. So I think it's really a matter of, like, a shift in perspective and a state of mind, you know?
Right.
And I feel like sometimes people, they got, like, the blinders on and they're only seen in one direction, when there's multiple ways to do things. And, like, especially as, like, a creative, like, what's that next way to do it? You know what I mean? Because, I mean, yeah, I'm all for family and everything, and I'm all for accomplishing goals, but it's like, I'm hearing you say all this stuff, but I'm still, like, within myself, I'm still not, like, convinced. Like, to me personally, the things that you're saying about why you wouldn't have family in regards of going, you know, for your career, don't make any sense to me, because there should always be a way to figure things out. You know what I mean? And it's like, children, they're really not a burden like the way that society makes them out to be. It's like, it brings so much joy and so much happiness and richness and a shift in mindset and perspective,
Right.
and also other people that come into your life. You know what I mean?
But I think, like, and why I strongly, and you know what's crazy though, because like I said, I am in a newer relationship and it's different for me. And I'm older now too. I'm 26 now. The last relationship I was in, I was younger. I was in a different place in my life. You know what I mean? And I am aware of me being a woman and like time is ticking if I do really want kids. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the mindset really stems from like, who am I having these children with, and what life am I really are we going to be able to give them? And I think that's the biggest factor. Like, yes, of course, my dreams and goals is another big thing, but it's like, and you know, based on what she said, you know, everybody has ups and downs, trials and tribulations. Not everybody grew up in the best life or household or whatever it may be. Yes, you have to make the most out of a situation. There has to be perspective shifts and stuff like that. But for me personally, right now, I know that I'm not going to bring a kid into this life and be like, that was the best decision I could have made. Will they be the most precious thing to me? And will I love them? Yes. Or maybe I will have a kid and be like, this is the best decision. And then I'll call you guys up and be like, I was wrong.
Yo,
but
she's such a beautiful soul, man. Like, I hear you speaking, and you're a good person. Like, you can't even hide it.
thank you.
You're a good person.
Thank you.
I hear
Yeah.
what you're saying, but you're gonna be the best mom in the world.
And I know that.
You know,
I'm so
Facts.
excited to be.
I know you
But
are.
like, I feel like right now, I can't fully do that. I can't.
I know circumstances in life,
Yeah.
but
The
one
seeds
day,
are there, though.
yeah,
We planted
yeah,
the seeds.
no, and it's not even like I knew from the moment that like I took the book from there because I didn't want people really knowing the books I read like that. But there's this book I'll tell you guys. It's called Lie to Me, right? It's like it's about micro expressions and things like that. Like I'm real big into like body language and psychology and people and shit like that. And you have such a great personality. Like if I was to rate your personality personally, 10. Like you're a good person. You're bubbly. Like you're not, you're taking in what we're saying and you're not being rude. Like you're a good person.
Teachable, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
you
I
know-
enjoy speaking with you. Like you don't even
Yeah,
understand.
you know something. I like to call that type of personality. You're like sunshine.
Yeah.
There are
Thank
people
you.
that are like sunshine.
Look at that
in
smile.
uniform.
Like come on.
I know
now.
we
Yeah.
seem like judges on the side of the room, like have children.
Yeah.
You guys got it all wrong.
Right.
But no,
it's not that. It's
yeah.
not that. Honestly, like what it is for me is it's like I'm big on family and I want to see people happy. Like if I could make you happy, I'm gonna do that. You know what I mean? Like I swear to God, I'm gonna support your dreams and ambitions and your goals. Like as soon as you drop that song, like we're gonna put it on the pod. Whatever you want, that's the reason why you're here. Like we want to help the world. We want to create a platform where people can have these kind of conversations or whatever. Just talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just be good people. Not
And like likewise too. I even thought like when you started singing, I was like, wow, that's pretty like
I was impressed.
that's pretty amazing. Because like me, I consider myself to have an amazing voice. Not joking. And I only know this because I was dating somebody who was like a music major. And when I would just sing the songs that I like, I'm like, wow, you have perfect pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And I never knew that was a thing. But it's like right now I couldn't just sing because it's like I'm not comfortable to just sing. Like I'll sing
Yeah.
by myself. But I thought that was why that was like amazing how you just started
Thank you.
singing. You know.
Yeah, she's a good soul. For sure, you're a good person. You're a good
And
soul.
so many women also like your age like are hopeless right now. You know what I mean? They're just at a point of like a point of no return, and
You
I don't
have
feel
light.
that way for you.
Yeah, you have
I feel
light.
like you're very teachable. I feel like you're at a one point right now, but I think you're gonna become open to like different things. And like honestly, like I wouldn't be shocked if you become like the next like mom and baby duo, and you're still that bomb artist.
Yeah, you know what?
You know, with the album and
You just
gotta
gotta let the light shine. You can't let any darkness like because it seems like so the vibe that I've been getting is it's like you have your light shining, but in the back of your mind there's always that darkness and you're afraid that it's gonna like encompass you.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that's gonna happen because you're always just gonna be shine. Like you have the type of personality where people are very, very comfortable around you. You probably have a lot of people where they just open up to you because you're very, very easy to talk to. You know what I mean? So things like that, that's like a gift in this world. And I think that's where we're also adamant, like we're seeing you and we're like, this would be a great woman to bring a child into the
Right.
world.
Thank
you know?
you very much, for real.
Yeah, because there's some women that you don't want her having children.
Yeah, no.
Yo,
You're just
for
like,
real.
no, you should not
Yeah.
have children. Seriously.
Actually, I take it back. Stay on Instagram.
Keep doing your thing.
Yeah,
But no, I appreciate that. And like I would love to be a mother one day. Yes. I was just,
if you get a man that's gonna treat you right and hold you down and you feel safe and you're confident and you have your little studio and you could do your music and
I mean, we're 3 months in, so like,
Yeah.
give me a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit
yeah,
more
yeah,
time,
yeah,
and
yeah,
like
no
maybe
doubt.
that perspective will
Yeah,
change.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
We hope
but,
so. We hope so. You know,
Yeah.
we hope so.
No,
But
it's
yeah.
like, I mean, a woman can say anything, but when she has the right man, whatever he's about, she's about.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it's just a matter of like, you know, it's you're 3 months in, the man still has a bunch of major shit tests to pass.
Right. Yes.
So you know you can confide in
She
his
said
abilities
right.
as a man, you know, because you know obviously like you guys will always do that when you're, I don't know if this guy's gonna be able to handle this.
And it's still learning.
Let me
a
throw a little
person,
test to
though,
see if he's
you
gonna
know?
get pissed or something. Exactly. But once you have a man that you can fully submit to, and I don't mean that in like a domineering type
No,
of way.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Then I
A
think
man you could trust.
a man you can trust.
I not to interrupt, but I'm just gonna add this real quick because literally what you guys just said stemmed this. On TikTok, yes, I was scrolling the other day, but it was someone else's podcast. I don't know, but the question was like, what do women look for in men, or what is that very thing that like women want from men? And the girl said, and it's been stuck with me. They were like, you know, most women want to hold the man's hand, close their eyes, and trust that wherever that they will lead them, once they open their eyes up again, they will be happy and they will be content. And I don't know, I guess that's just very similar to like what you guys are saying is like once you find that man, there's, you know, whatever he's for, you'll be for it.
Yep.
Because you trust that. You trust his lead. You trust his direction. No matter where it may be, you know that you will be comfortable in that situation with him.
That's
That's
exactly
facts.
like you were saying, like almost like being in a car thinking like you're gonna crash, but you trust in all of your heart, like even if you it's full speed coming at you, but you trust your man that he's gonna steer the vehicle in a way where it doesn't crash.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah, I
you explained
remember
that
I
was a
said
good analogy, but yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's really all it takes.
And something else too, like, you know, by following like, because you know, a man and a woman having children, that's like a divine order. That's the way things are supposed to be. When you
Yes.
when you do things like this, God favors you because that's the way things are set up. You know, because
Oh
you're
my
doing things
God.
the right way.
Literally, like I always tell this to people, but I always feel like my daughter's name's gonna be Charlotte. I always say she's like a lucky baby because literally things work out. I'm telling you, like even when things go wrong, things like I just like in summary, like I had my baby shower fail last
please,
week.
yo, that story.
Oh my god, I had a baby shower fail last week, and like decorator just didn't deliver on what I paid her for, or whatever. And
They
I
gotta
was just
see the
like, wow,
TikTok,
that's
'cause that's
messed up.
crazy.
Like that, it was just like messed up, and like there was nothing I could do. Like there's no way to get my money back or anything like that. And I put it on TikTok, and the TikTok goes viral. And I'm just like, that's Charlotte. Like in every single thing, like it's crazy. And like this might go into like other things, but like a fortune teller once told me like years ago. I used to be very big in fortune tellers because like some people have the gift. Some people really do have the gift. And there was just this one time, this fortune teller, and this stuck with me. She said, the day you do have a baby, that baby will be lucky. She's just like, you hold on to that baby. It's gonna be lucky. And I was just like, huh? Like, what? I don't know how that's lucky, but like, whatever. Like, that was my mentality back then. And it truly has been that throughout this whole pregnancy. Like, haven't vomited, wasn't sick, had an easy pregnancy.
Wow.
Everything worked out. It's bizarre. And I'm telling you, I was one of the same. I see myself in you. It was literally like you, just like you. Like the same mentality where I was just like, whatever, like if I have kids, I want my goals, I want my money, whatever. Like I'm not throwing this out for nothing or whatever. And it truly happened. Like it just truly worked out. Like
Children bring this energy again. It's energy.
it's just this new life, this new soul that's like has not been touched or tainted.
And they're like,
haven't done no
they're
wrong.
big souls coming into the world because kids now, like I know, like with my nephews, they're like exceptional children. When I compare them to how I was or like how other children are, I'm like, wow, these are some super intelligent, super like in tune souls.
Yeah, it
You know,
resets
even, like-
your palate. Like
Yeah.
whatever bad you did. Like I really believe this is just my own beliefs. Like it's not factual, obviously, but whatever like bad things you've ever done, people you did wrong, whatever. I feel like this new life like resets things for you. And like will kind of give you this new chance because it's an innocent life.
It's
They
a
did nothing.
karmic cleanse.
Yeah, they've done nothing. They're literally just innocent and entering the world,
Yeah.
and you're the host. So of course you're gonna be in in
In,
good
in
way.
your divinity,
Yeah.
like as a
Yo,
woman, you're a
it's-
divine being.
It's so wild to think like women are literally portals for spirits to come into this world, like
I
to
just
bring
want
new
people
souls
to
in.
like to just feel that, you know,
Yeah.
like you will in your own time, you know, but like to feel
Yeah,
that
it's the
just
best.
great.
It's the best feeling, right?
It's great.
I'm sure. I wish I was a woman to have children. I'm joking, man.
I'd
I-
pass the job on anytime. What?
No, but honestly, like I don't know. You guys seem kind of quiet. I don't like quiet, and I know what that means.
No, I
So
just
we're gonna-
feel like we're just reiterating like our thoughts and feelings, and I'm listening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm listening. I don't know like when we're wrapping up either. Like once you say that, I'll say like my final thoughts, I guess, or whatever.
It's about to
so-
be right now.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You know, first I want to say thank you very much for having me and for having us like on the show. It's really nice talking to every single one of you guys. And you know, the perspectives. Yes, like, am I gaining more knowledge? Am I gaining a different perspective that I'm able to learn from, take something away from? Of course I am. I think anybody I speak to, that happens. And you know, and like I said, like I'm gonna stand on what I say, like because as a little girl, yes, have always had these dreams and goals, and like you know, I've met my best friend growing up. Literally, me and her have the same birthday and everything like that. Her dream, like since she was young, was to be a mom, like to be married and have a man take care of her, and there's not like I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. But me, I've never like wanted that as my first goal or my personal choice or whatever. But the day I have children and I'm in a position with a man that puts a ring on my finger, I'm inviting all y'all to the wedding
Please, invite me.
and the
Oh,
baby
yeah.
shower or whatever it may be. But yeah, I don't know. I want you guys to know that I hear you. I understand. I will also reflect on the things that were said as well. Yeah, thank you.
Very welcome. Is there anything
Yes.
you want to plug yourself? You got any businesses or your music?
Yes,
Yeah.
so you can follow me on Instagram at Karina M. Barrios. It's Karina with a C. I have a show coming up on the 29th in New York City. The venue is called Sour Mouse, New York City. I've never been. I heard it's like a cute little place. So pop out. Link is in my bio. Make sure you check out my new single, One of One. I want to let all you guys know that you are all one of one and you are all special and unique in your own way. Congratulations to you. You're going to be a great mother.
Thank you.
And Charlotte is probably the luckiest, cutest little baby ever. And yeah, appreciate y'all.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. How about
Of
you?
course.
Thanks for having me. I mean, I definitely have my mind open to everything that you guys were saying too.
Sure, buddy. Yeah, whatever.
I definitely do. No, like the points that you were hitting too, like thank you. Like I needed to hear that for like the things that's been going on in my life. But yeah, thank you for having me too.
Any plugs? Anything?
My Instagram is it's Karina AAO. You can follow me on there, and that's about it.
And what's that? Is that Karina with a C or a K?
K with the K.
Okay.
Just making sure.
CK.
Scott, what about yourself, buddy? What's up? Any last words?
Man, I just want to say it's all about energy and vibration. Everything. And I think
Profound.
people can sense. I mean, it's one thing to say words, but the vibration never lies, and you could always feel it within somebody. So everyone should always be just authentic in the way they conduct themselves. Because if you think one thing and you're trying to say something else, you're going to come off as a liar, and everybody always knows that. Yeah.
You got to say, man. I thought you were gonna do the 200,000.
Oh,
200.
matter of fact, it's probably at 200,000 right now. Let's see.
Well, hold on. Oh yeah, is it?
I bet it is.
Well, while you check,
Let's see.
any last words?
No, I'm good. It was nice meeting everyone and chatting with everyone.
Yo,
This was a really good group.
I'm
Oh yeah, no, these ladies were legit. They were good.
Yeah, man.
We need to go to the hood and get the ratchets so that we could really get it
Yo,
popping up in here.
get the ratchets out here.
We got to get the ratchets. Real
And
talk.
happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
Oh man, why you had
That's
to
a
talk
good
about?
way to.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, that's how you started it, so
all
I'm
the
just coming
dudes-
full circle.
all the
That's
dudes
all.
now are like, they were just all like, yeah, this is cool, man. I learned it. And then now they're
Is it
just
already?
like,
Wait, it is. Oh, it's not Valentine's
They're
Day
so
officially
sad.
yet, but-
they're so sad.
You will find love one day.
Like, hey, maybe it might work out for everyone.
Yes.
What if this is like the best Valentine's Day for everyone?
If you watch this
Well-
episode, you will have a perfect love life.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe.
Yo, and not for nothing, they're hitting like all the lovey-dovey songs on the radio too. Cause usually I stream in the car, and I didn't, and I was like, "Yo, what the hell is this? Like all the soft Usher music, all like the the ooh,
All that
like
soft, yeah.
like in your feelings." And I'm like, "Oh man, no."
It's crazy, man. I feel bad for these guys out here, man. But what are we gonna do, man? You got winners and you got losers, right? Movers and shakers. So, anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I think this conversation was cool. I enjoyed it. I think there's a lot to learn here. We're definitely trying to understand one another because we definitely come from two different places, and it is what it is. So.
It is what it
It is what it is. You heard me? So, yeah, man. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate everyone. Thank you. And I'm trying to eat that pizza. So, peace.